don't take it back.
Nope.
Is my mic okay?
Nah, man, come on, girl, let's go.
My mic's okay. We didn't do a mic check. We okay? With my mic check 1 2 1 2, where we at? Or do I need to scoot in?
Oh no,
closer?
you good on that one.
Okay, I'm good on this
You
one.
should have let me pick. This is technically my birthday episode.
Oh,
Your birthday in a week.
I won't be here though.
Yeah, we won't be here.
Well, when we a week removed, we still gonna be in a week.
When we moving?
I won't be here still.
You
I
gonna
won't be
call?
on
Hey, on her birthday! Hey, on the ones and twos, on the ones and twos. Hey, new Tyler.
Oh, he's excited.
Yeah, he's very excited.
Man, y'all
Some people
sleeping,
are.
man.
Yeah, that's the new Tyler, the creator.
I just got to go to a Tyler concert without paying the other night
right
on Amazon.
Oh, Amazon.
Amazon, shout out. Oh, no, I ain't shouting them out. I'm not shouting them out. I'm not shouting them out, man. They on the shenanigans. But I did get to see the concert on their channel the other night.
Did it make you happy?
It did.
Awesome.
That dude, LA, born and raised, Hawthorne specifically, but an LA kid, showing all that growth. Yeah, man, had to roll.
LA all day.
Yeah, and his live show is fire. Live show is fire.
I will take your word for it.
What's the best live show you've been to?
Oh, hands down, Layla Hathaway.
Okay. You. Dang.
Prince.
Okay.
And I gotta give a shout out to New Kids on the Block. They still doing it from back then and today.
They old kids on the block now. There
Yeah,
ain't
they
nothing
old
new
kids
about
on
them
the
now.
block, but they put on a fire show and keep you entertained. Oh, and let me not. We gotta throw Chris Brown in there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yes, the tour where he came sliding down the zip line onto the stage. That was the flyest ever.
You know who else gives a really good one? Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, I haven't
She
seen
gives
her.
a really good one. Like yeah.
Yeah, then the mentions to I thought was going to be a sleeper, Toni Braxton. She was actually good. I just thought it was going to be a snore.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
Nah.
and if we cannot forget the old school.
Damn, can I give one?
Yes,
Go
but you
ahead.
gotta let me say this one before you
Okay.
do. Auntie Patty LaBelle, her shows, I'd go see her every Mother's Day.
She's screaming.
I ain't gonna lie, all them
I like
people,
her.
very talented.
Yes,
all those people,
yes.
very talented. So I can understand them having a fire show.
Yeah.
How about and this is not to take away from their talent, but like the show besides their talent, like was it a fully developed show? Or
Well,
was it just them doing what they do?
It was just them doing what they
so
do.
pristinely.
Yes, and I think for me, that was one of the things that made me love Michael Jackson, for instance. Yes, he could do all the entertaining, right? But it was something about even when he just stood there that made me go, that's Michael Jackson.
No, I want
And
you
that's
to,
what I got from
I
him.
want you to do other stuff. I paid all that money. I want
Right.
I
But
want
sometimes
all
when you
the
can
bells and
blow, you
whistles.
don't have to do nothing else.
No, I still want the bells and whistles.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying for
Mhm.
me, especially when Layla Hathaway performed, her voice and just the way she connected with the audience.
Well, I'm not
stuff
looking for
didn't
bells and
look
whistles
for
from
me.
Layla Hathaway.
She
Yeah,
was
she's so
life.
different.
Yeah, different type of artists.
Yep.
But some of these bigger acts, and when they give a live show, I want to see some of the money that you've been making off all this shit put back into the show.
Chris Brown's show
Amen.
was like
Yeah.
that.
Chris
His
Brown's
was
excellent show, but I want to
Mhm.
see that put back into your show.
Mhm.
I appreciate the live show and artists being able to give that show, and I love seeing how the audience reacts to music. I like to see that connection between the artists
Right.
and the crowd. And like I said, I want to see all the bells and whistles too. I want you to have really put something into that.
So who have you seen that you're just like, oh yeah?
Fire show. First fire show that I ever saw was MC Hammer.
I can
Like,
believe it.
On that level. I mean
can believe it.
on that scale.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I can
On that
believe it because
scale.
he's a showman. So
Yeah.
I can believe that.
On that scale. Kanye Glow in the Dark tour was
I didn't
crazy.
see that one.
That was
Yeah.
crazy. the show that I saw a weekend show that was really big presentation wise. I didn't really honestly love his performance, his on mic performance, but I do like what they put into it. So I'm kind of halfway there on that. It was visually stimulating, yet audibly left
Not
something, you know.
Oh, I can't believe I did this. You know who gave like a really big show that's another reason why, you know, I'm hyped about the one I'm getting ready to go to is RBRM, basically Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. When they joined together and we're going on tour together, they did one. And when I tell you, I was like, the show from the beginning to the end was everything. For the little DJ set, they had DJ Kid Capri.
Kid Capri.
You didn't even need nothing to like. Right. It had everything rocking, just watching him do his thing. And then when they came out,
Kid Capri is one of the people that help hip hop be hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He is a certified master on the board. So,
and that's why I enjoyed him. But then when they came out, and they, you know,
what'd you call them? Like, what'd you say their name was?
It was RBRM. That's what they went by on the tour.
For that tour, yeah.
RBRM.
I bet that could be a trivia question.
That I would get right.
That could be a trick because I know all the parties, but I ain't never heard of no RBRM.
That's what they were going by for
I know
a while.
BBD.
Right.
I know LSG.
Yep.
I know NE. But I don't know.
And JG?
NJG?
No, I said and JG, Johnny Gill.
Oh, yeah. He's one person.
Everybody.
And then there was Heads of States. That was Bobby, Ralph, and Johnny Gill together.
Wait, that was what?
Not Ronnie. Ralph, Bobby, and Johnny Gill together.
What were they called?
Head of States.
They don't get out of here.
They were. But BBD was performing together, and then they were performing together as a group.
Okay.
And then RBRM.
They should have just went up there as Ralph.
Yes.
Johnny, and who?
Exactly.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Because it was basically, you know, the lead singers all together.
Let me tell y'all. So, New Edition. How many times I had, as a younger person, went to go see a show of theirs. And at the time, you know, BBD and everybody, yeah, that's hype and stuff. But some type of situations, sometimes you just want to have what you know. I'm going for New Edition. New Edition got Bobby Brown. So all these times, man, Bobby wouldn't show. And then one time, older in life, Bobby Brown showed up. And I was just like, oh, I fanned out. But like, yes, Bobby's here. It's full. It's back to what it's supposed to be.
It's fanned out.
Yeah,
Fanned out. Show I was watching the other day. It's funny. You know, artist interaction, artist talking to the audience. My man says to the guy out there, like he's talking to a guy, and the guy is, and he's like, you. And the guy's like, me? It's you. Why the guy start crying mid-show? Why he get clowned he gets clowned mid-show? Because Tyler not the cat that's gonna let you just start crying. He's like, this nigga start crying? And then he went in on him like, this nigga didn't fucking fanboyed out in the concert.
If I get to even get close to New Edition this weekend, I'm a fangirl all the way. I'm not going to talk about it.
Are you going to cry?
Hell yeah.
Why?
Because that's like that's my birthday on a million for me.
Why are you going to cry though?
Because it's my birthday on a million.
Okay. It's some kind of feeling like I feel it. So 2 years ago, I had the opportunity.
Oh, shit, we're crying at shows. Go.
well, I had the opportunity to do a meet and greet with New Kids on the Block. Now, like New Kids on the Block, New Edition, like that's my what?
Nothing.
Oh, he said something smart. I'm gonna have to listen to that playback. So I was like, you know, that was the boy band craze time. So any boy band was like hype then. And so 30 years later, I finally get to meet them in person and just meet and greet. I'm just like,
you better not.
I want to hold it together. And I held it together.
You better not.
It just took it brought me back to like nostalgia of back then. It wasn't like, oh my God. Cause like if Joey McIntyre walked in here right now, I would not be like,
that's why I'm wondering where the tears come from.
It's an emotion. It's happiness.
Clearly it's an emotion, but what about the artist? It's happiness?
Yeah.
I'm asking what the
like
emotion
when I met
is.
Layla Hathaway, I almost cried because it was just like, even though I know they're famous and they're just regular people, the way she connected, it was just like, music is the soundtrack for people's lives, for some people. And for
100%.
me, a lot of them are. So sometimes it's that emotion.
So it brought you
when
to
I
that.
meet them.
It brought you back to a particular time, and you were emotional about that.
And then it's like I'm meeting that person that feels like, for me, because I connect with the artists that I pay money to go see, because I don't go see everybody that I just like songs from. It was kind of like, Layla just felt like my cousin that I ain't seen in a long ass time, and I'm excited to see you. Like, it was just that feeling.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That happens.
Okay.
If I would have ever met Prince or Michael, I would have
passed out.
just the tears.
They would have been looking at you like you was crazy too.
They're used to it though, because people cry with
They
them
look
all
at
the
them
time.
like they crazy too.
It's okay.
I remember not like having a whole conversation, but Michael Jackson was lived in a high rise, and he was there, and so happens that I'm there with my grandma who was visiting someone in this high rise in Century City. We walking past, and he was like, "Hi," and he grabbed my little cheek, and he just like pinched it, and I was just like, "I will never wash my cheek again. Michael Jackson touched it." So I understand.
Oh, that's like the people that's like, "I'll never wash my hand."
Yep.
They shook my hand.
Exactly. That was kind of cool.
Dirty muff.
Whatever.
But you were saying about artists connecting with their audience and stuff. One of the craziest things I just felt it was crazy. I mean, maybe not nowadays. It might not have the same weight, but I had the chance. It was Mary J. Blige and Jay-Z. They were on tour, and I got to see them at the Hollywood Bowl.
Was that the Best of Both Worlds tour when it crumbled?
I think
Jay-Z
so.
and Friends?
Yeah, Jay-Z and Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did Usher come out with the Jay-Z's and Friends? Because I saw Usher.
I believe so.
Yeah, so that was another one. So this was like I think it was just Jay-Z. What's the guy, that producer? The Dream. It was The Dream,
Right.
Mary J. Blige, and Jay-Z performing. So I saw, Usher puts on a great show too, just by the way.
Yeah.
I got to see them at the Hollywood Bowl. Well, actually Jay-Z's show. And this was George Bush was still president. Katrina happened, and he's in LA talking about F George Bush. And we're like, oh, and the whole crowd's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that in America.
Right. So I
Don't
missed the first half of the show
Supposed to be shit.
because no one believed that it was going to take that long to get the Hollywood Bowl. I was like, no, this is the first time we got others at the Hollywood Bowl like this. It's going to be madness. So we missed Mary J. I get a ticket to go to Orange County 2 days later. I go to the Orange County show.
Right.
And it comes to that point where he about to say F George Bush. And I'm like, what's about to happen? It was crickets. But what was crazy? Every word, the uncensored version.
He got that off.
Everybody is singing. And I'm probably only one body.
Jigga!
That's my mother.
My nigga!
And I'm like, wait, is that accepted? I'm
Niggas
looking
better
like,
get it right.
Get it right.
They were like, oh my gosh.
Like, you're not even gonna try to censor the word. You right next to me, bro. This ain't. Yeah,
I could never do one of those. You know, my pro Black Panther self.
It was
I
rough.
would not be okay.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? Like, I thought they were gonna play the censored version over here or something. Nope.
Hey, look, concerts be something else.
Yeah, that's why I got my
concerts be
locations
something
have
else.
to be right, because you could kind of guess who's gonna be there. I would not have been okay. I would have not.
We've been there fighting.
Probably would have. I probably could have got arrested. Probably would have been angry for about a couple of weeks, because it would have had my spirit disturbed.
Yeah.
You know?
It was weird. It was totally weird. And I was just like, I don't even know what's going on. Am I supposed to be enjoying myself right now? Thank God I saw this part of the show already. Is it time to go? Like, is he going to do anything different? Or any special guests coming out? Because if not, I think I could leave now.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, weird stuff.
I've seen it. I've been to a few Jay-Z shows.
Yeah.
And the crowd
It's
is
weird.
I haven't been in Orange County.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't been in Orange County.
Oh, yeah.
In Orange
a
County,
different
I could
experience.
imagine that would be kind of special.
Yeah, I just didn't believe
Me, I've gone. It was more a mixed crowd, but
Mhm.
I know what you're saying. I know what
Yeah.
you're saying.
it. Was,
And look, I've been to plenty. When you go to like the underground stuff and a lot of stuff that's
Mhm.
like not necessarily the mainstream stuff, man, that crowd is disproportionately, I think, probably white to black. The ratio,
Right.
you don't see it nearly. We don't support like that stuff nearly as much. I
Right.
find.
No,
So,
no. That's true, and that's where I am. Like younger years, you would catch me like, "Who's playing? I don't even know this group's name. Let's go check them out." Like
I love
let's just
shows.
go. Mm-hmm.
I love shows. And when I was speaking earlier about the pomp and circumstance, I was speaking more on like stadium arena shows. Because I honestly probably prefer smaller, more intimate shows.
Right.
But when I'm going to that big shit, I want to see the big shit.
Makes sense.
Pyro, everything.
I want to see the big shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a big old stadium and you like, is that him on the stage in the middle?
Mhm.
Right there?
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, you gotta throw Beyonce out there. Like
I haven't
she put on
I
a
haven't seen her
show.
live. I haven't seen her live.
Oh my god! I just feel less of a person when I leave her show. Like, and she did all that dancing and gyrating for all that time.
Hey, that's
and
what she gets paid to do.
I know, but I just be feeling like, dang, I couldn't even stand up that long.
But yeah, but you don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
If you got paid for it, you might approach it different.
Yeah, maybe so. Huh?
You know.
Anybody want to pay me? For my,
I'm open to
it. to my other talents, please.
I'll find just a little niche. Just a little niche.
Just a niche.
Just
What
a
you
little
need?
niche.
What you need?
Little something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's I feel that.
Mhm.
I love concerts.
Yeah, me too.
And stand up. I say that all the time, but I saw one last night. There's a new one on HBO.
I know. Or I just got shocked, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
I'm not going to say what happened on it because this will be that's a whole different kind of spoiler.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put the spoiler on that.
Oh, no spoilers.
Let people go check that out for themselves. It's not for me.
Mhm.
But I love when new stand-up specials come out, stand-up shows, go to the club, stand-up club, comedy club. You know, that's my shit.
I would have loved, even though I know that it's old, I would have loved to have been old enough to go to Def Comedy Jam when it was a thing, because I think I would have enjoyed that setting.
Well, the Def Comedy Jam had a bunch of incarnations, and it came and shit. It might.
Well,
come
should I
back
say
around.
the first one?
Okay.
When
I was too young.
Yeah,
to,
nah, when Martin Lawrence
Martin
was
was
the
the
host.
Okay.
yeah,
Like
the OG
it
shit.
seemed like they turned the fuck up.
No,
like
that one was. Have you watched the Netflix special?
yeah.
Yeah, that's really tough.
And honestly, I still be watching the reruns. Like when I used to have the
No,
Amazon,
There are
you
HBO
could watch
Max.
it on Prime.
HBO Max.
Yes. And I was seeing some of it, but I'm saying, like, I do go back and I watch the old episodes like that. And there's no diss to anybody because I like Joe Torre. I like him, but
Martin was the best.
yeah, Martin was the best. I was gonna say host for me, and I felt like that season.
We're gonna get into
was the
Martin a
best.
little bit later because Martin had some words to chime in on what we'll be speaking about
Okay.
later. So,
But I enjoyed it when it was that. And I wish that's something I could have partaked in, when that was their thing.
I was in school, right?
We were all in school.
No, I mean, well, yes, we were. We were, but you know what I'm saying? I remember you were really young
a
in
little
school.
toddy tot.
No,
Like-
not really.
Yeah. I remember, yeah.
I was young, but I wasn't like kindergarten.
Were you able to watch that at that age?
Let me
Nah.
tell you something. Up until I was 18, I really had to sneak to watch shit. My
Okay.
mom is
No,
real.
look,
different.
the reason I'm asking is because I was like in high school at that point.
Oh yeah, no.
I was in high school and it was still like, because it came on at midnight,
Mm-hmm.
the original, you know what I'm saying? So it was still like a stay up on Friday nights
Right.
type of deal. You know, we did it. We all
Mhm.
did it. That's why I was set there.
Well, not when it used to
You
come
was a
on like that.
baby.
I was a baby, but I had older cousins, so I would purposely a lot of times spend the night at my aunt's house because I could get away with watching it at her house.
Right.
I couldn't get away with it at my mama's.
Hey, look, it's crazy because some of the people that are like the biggest comedians, that's where they got their start as far as our eyes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you find out, like watching that special, that a lot of them were established
seen it.
comedians. No, I'm talking about the
I know. I was saying I have. Oh,
25th anniversary.
I thought you were talking about the other special you were telling me about.
I'm not getting that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
What I'm saying is
Mhm.
watching that 25th, that thing on Netflix, the Def Jam special, the throwback.
Mm-hmm.
With that taught me what I didn't understand back then is a lot of those comedians were like established in their own markets.
Mm-hmm.
But that was how it was presented to us because that's what Russell did was he was able to take all those big comedians and all those small markets that were in the comedy club and bring it to
The main stage.
nationwide so we
Yeah.
could all
Right.
see it. people like Bernie Mac and
Mm-hmm.
Bill Bellamy. These were people like at that time they were running like their own comedy rooms respectively for their cities and were like huge comedians, and we were seeing them for the first time. And it's crazy how prominent a lot of those figures are now in our media landscape. Think about like Bill Bellamy. Bernie's not here with us anymore, but like
Rest
Cedric the
in peace,
Entertainer.
yeah.
DL was on there.
DL,
Yep.
right? DL. JB Smooth.
Oh yeah, I loved him.
JB Smooth.
He's
I used to
funny
love
to
him
me.
back then. Chris Tucker is kind of low, but Chris Tucker, right? He
Mhm.
still pops out every once in a while.
Right.
Shit, Dave Chappelle,
Yeah.
right? And just a lot, and even like a lot of the comedians that were on there now are doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff
Mm-hmm.
right now, like Royale Watkins and Pierre. Remember Pierre?
Oh yeah, I like him.
Pierre. Like a lot of those people, they're still doing stuff now.
Mhm. And then there was something I didn't even know was a comedian, like AJ. I can't think of her last name, but she was on A Different World when Jada, when that little group came
I
in.
know you're talking about.
She was on one day. I was
Hey, I
like,
know
she was
who
a
you're talking
comedian.
about. I
I
used to
was
be on
like,
her.
damn. And then there was another guy that I just knew would act in different movies. And then when he was on there, I was like, oh shit, he is a comedian too. Like now that I'm going back and I'm watching stuff, you know,
Mhm.
again, it was like, okay, like that was a cool little vibe.
It definitely was.
I like that setup because I like when people who have made it so far in their craft
Mhm.
that they give back. Like that's always important. I always say, oh, you know, if I was an entertainer, I would do things. I'd give my fans, like I'd pop up in crazy places and like just do a free show real fast just because I
And
know
some artists do stuff
that,
like that.
yeah, some do. I would be that one.
J.
So
Cole does a lot of stuff like that.
So, what's her name? Tiffany Haddish. So she put the thing. I felt like the best of both worlds together. She somehow, I don't know. I'm good on this email list, and it was like, oh, come with these free tickets. I was like, this is gonna be some kind of catch to this. Sure enough, it was just free tickets. If you signed up for it, you could go, and it was right
I
here
get
in
those all the
LA,
time.
and right on Washington at the Nate Holman or something
The
center.
Mint?
No, not the Mint. It's called the Nate something.
Okay.
Nate, I think Nate Holman
The
Center.
men
or
is
something.
Pico anyway. Yeah.
So anyhow, she's there. She performs, and then it was her taping that Netflix series that she did with the female comedians. So now she's giving them the stage and the spotlight. The
Right.
upcoming one, Shantae
Is she ready?
Wayne,
I
and
think it
yeah,
was-
she ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I appreciated that about her. Like, oh, you gave your fans something to come and look at and check out,
Right.
as well as highlighting these other artists.
We went to the Little Rail,
Mm-hmm.
the special that
I
he
kind
did.
of like him.
the special that he did. He did
Mm-hmm.
at my old high school.
Oh, that's cool.
But that was HBO special as well.
Uh-huh.
And they gave away the tickets to that too.
Nice.
You know, so people they do that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
People in the community.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's
Makes me
good.
happy.
It's good to give back and to pay it forward.
Exactly.
It definitely is. Let me introduce.
Oh damn, we hadn't.
We in this
introduced
thing.
him. Okay.
Yeah,
We
all
in
the
this
way
thing.
in. We all the
Swag
way
and
in.
surfing. All right.
Hey.
You have now tapped into the Deez Ninjas Podcast, and we are so glad
So glad.
that you came to kick it with us. I am Club Dynamite, the coolest ninja you know, and I'm here with a couple of ninjets. Vacation Barb,
Hey. I'm actually here.
she's here. She's here. It's her.
In the
and
flesh.
and Taz, what it is.
What it
It's my
do?
little militant one right here,
That's right, all the time.
right?
Bam. Always.
Right? Hey, gotta have it. Want to shout out to What Up Vern and shout out to Nikki Savage. Shout
Hey,
out to
y'all.
Shanni Love.
Hey.
One time. I want to shout out to Extendo.
Extendo.
Right?
Bring me
Had to
back
do
some
that.
beignets.
Yum.
That part.
Yum. Mhm. Shoot.
That part. I never had a beignet.
Oh,
What?
so
Oh, they are. They're tasty.
Never had one.
good.
There's so many things that are tasty in New Orleans.
What is a beignet?
It's like a pastry. The only thing I don't like about them sometimes is that because I'm not really a sugar person, like where I touch something and it get all over your hands.
Mhm.
They usually are so powdered sugar
Yeah.
caked on that
Oh,
when
that's
you
not
eat
my
them, it's
vibe.
like. But when you actually eat the actual pastry, it's really good.
Yummy.
It's really
Well,
good.
Is there anything to compare it to?
Not for me.
Okay.
No,
I saw both. I
kinda
saw
wanna
both
do
your faces when I said
croissant.
that.
Yeah, like
And
no.
nope.
It's a beignet.
But it's good though. Like I'm saying,
Nope.
like I can't say it's like a donut or it's like this. Like
Yeah.
it's its own thing,
It's
basically.
beignet.
Okay.
We'll have to get you a beignet.
It's
Yeah.
good.
All right.
These ninjas from New Orleans, we can
New
set that up.
Orleans
Yeah.
ninjas.
Yeah, we can set that up.
All right. That's cool. I'm not like a big pastry person and stuff.
Me
That's why I haven't
neither.
had one yet.
So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
with you. So that means my opinion should hold some weight because if I like it, it takes a lot pastry wise for me to like something.
Does it?
Right.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
your-
not a big
No, I'm not
pastry
gonna-
person.
Yeah.
No, I'm not either.
So
I'm not a
those are good.
sweetbreads person,
Mhm.
really. Bam, how was you guys' week? I know how your week went.
Yeah, you know.
Hectic.
Hey, let me just tell you this. When we were kids and, you be looking forward to spring break, it's like, oh, I don't have to get up early in the morning.
Right.
Yay!
Yeah.
When you work on that side, it's like the fuck. I don't care about getting up early. It's just that now I don't have.
That break.
Yes.
You got a break.
I'm looking forward to it way more than the kids are. I'm going early. One parent told me, she was like, what's this? I heard you're not going to be there the last few days. Freaking out, thinking, she's good and gone. I was like, oh no, I'm coming back after spring break. She's like, oh, you going to have a hot girl spring break? I said, I'm going to have a kid-free spring break. And I just decided to start early.
Right.
Mhm, mhm.
Are you going to have a hot girl spring break though?
Not really. I think I just needed to be in a different scene. And I get to see new additions. So,
I'm
You
gonna
need
tell
hot
you what
break?
would be fun.
what?
A hot girl spring break.
I mean, I'm gonna be with family, and for me, that's like normal. So what might be hot girl to some other people is like normal for
damn.
me.
All right.
That's how they do it in Hot
Hey,
Atlanta.
okay.
Mhm.
Feel me? Warm girl spring.
Yes.
'Cause if it's with family, it's not gonna be that hot.
I don't know.
The Atlanta people got a different vibe. Like,
Yeah.
They
like a
do.
regular birthday party be at the strip club, and here in California we a little prudish.
Hey, look on the real. They
Going
just
to strip
on the real.
club?
They like, hey, we were just going to do cake and ice cream.
Right, exactly. Oh no, we're going to Magic City. Yeah, watch
We're
the
just gonna
girls
do cake.
on the
Yeah, well,
poles. Like
well,
what?
Well, Sapphire is going to be there too.
Yeah.
That's
You're
what I'm
like,
saying.
huh?
Everything's a turn up. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't intend. I might be like,
Okay.
cousin, can you cook for me? And she like, yeah. And the next thing I know, it's like a full out party
They
going
be like
on.
Cinnabons.
Right.
All right.
Even on the gram, like, since we're going out there, I was like, look at this brunch. Like this brunch. She's like, girl, that gets real turned up. I'm like, I could see from these videos, like, wait, are they dancing on the tables? It's
Mhm.
brunch.
Okay.
It is brunch, man.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? All brunches now, they didn't already fuck brunch up. No more omelets.
Yeah.
No more waffles.
It's
It's just fucking ways for you guys to fucking consume mimosas.
Exactly.
That's all it's turned into.
Mhm.
But the
Unlimited.
place where we're going, their drinks are. You'll see.
Oh,
we'll
big
see
ass
pictures, they're like,
mimosas.
no, but it's different type of shit. It's about to pop.
Oh,
Mhm.
look,
Mhm.
I see the excitement.
Facts.
That's what I
Excited.
say. I don't know. It might not be all that
Come on,
warm.
girl, let's go.
Mhm. Hey.
hmm That's what you on. How about
Yep.
you? Yeah, I don't see you that much. You haven't. Wait, have you been out of town since the last time I saw you?
Since the last time, no,
No,
I've been here.
she's like next week.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week. Next week, yeah,
Next
yeah,
week.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll be
I've been
vacationing
working.
together.
Yeah,
Huh?
I've been working. I just
I
been
know.
working.
You might. You never know with this one.
Yeah,
You never know with this one. This one, she'll be at work and then she'll be like, I took off and I went to Africa.
right? Man.
I am in Nambia right now.
Exactly. Them college be stressing you out. And this just takes all energy. Like last night I had this call and I just felt like sometimes you leave deflated and feel some way about the human race and people's compassion and everything else. And it's some days, you deliver a whole baby and you're like, oh, the world is great.
Have
like,
you
know-
delivered a child
I have.
over the phone?
Oh, several.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's intense.
What am I doing with my life? What?
Being sane. That's what it is. It's
The hell?
intense.
She said she's delivering kids over the phone.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, now you got a little snips. You got some snips.
Right. Yeah, no, seriously, it'd be crazy. But old girl calls, she's security. She got her other security with her. Now, I just want to know, why is there security at the McDonald's area? The area that this McDonald's is in, they got to have security. Okay, whatever. So somehow, somewhere, there's a man in the drive-thru that's unconscious. Is he breathing? Well, I don't know. Okay, ma'am, can you like at least direct the cars around so that they don't run him over? She went crazy on me. Don't you understand? This the McDonald's. I ain't getting in the way of anybody and their food. They gonna get an attitude and get mad with me if they can't get their food. I said, wait.
I know you didn't expect that at work. You be delivering babies.
I'm just like, wait, you
Hey,
security?
that's a hell of contrast.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can have,
That is a hell of a contrast.
funny call, and then you can have a serious call, and yeah, it's crazy. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like, really spin the wheel. What's
Do you
next?
ever get a quiet night?
Yes,
Well, she
and that's
probably
a
not
bad
on the
word. We never say the word quiet at work because that just passes some juju. Be like, it's quiet in here. You say,
Oh, there's something
I swear,
something about to go down.
whoosh. Yeah, it just takes off. So we never use that word at work. But yes, there have been some. More recently, not so much. People just been calling for everything.
How about when the pandemic was like full force?
Man, that just, it tore us all up. It tore us all
all right.
up.
I don't want to tear you up.
Yeah, we were. No, I'm saying like we were so busy and nobody could take off, and we for a long time like COVID didn't even like hit our center, so we were just like, okay,
That's kind of what I'm
tomorrow.
concerned about. I don't mean like once you guys were like thin, from losing people. I just mean like the calls that you were getting.
Oh yeah, the calls came in heavy, and then when that second wave hit, it was crazy. I'd be talking to people, and they would say something like, "Hey, my husband's having a hard time breathing." Okay, I can hear him in the background. Tell him hurry up, yeah. Tell him hurry up. Okay, and by the time the paramedics get there, they were dead. Like,
Damn.
and that was call after call after call after call.
Damn.
They were like, "Well, we're just all the Grim
That's why
Reapers."
she be gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she be gone. You need to maintain your sanity.
Yeah, it's a rough industry,
Well,
but it's rewarding too, right?
Oh, just-
You're like, didn't want to hear it. Right? It's a rough job, but it's got its rewards too.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, you be delivering babies.
Right.
That has made his night.
That right there.
He's like, I didn't know all that.
I didn't realize.
Like, I knew you took phone calls. I just didn't know, like, babies was coming from there.
Yeah. You just
Yeah.
you blew my mind there. What?
He was like, I thought you just routed them, like you going to the police or going to the fire station.
No,
like, what we doing?
I know it got more involved than that, but just like, hey, they'll be there soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard like 911 agents in different situations like talk people through things. So, but she said it like, like a gang on, like all the time, like once a week. I do that shit all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I got it.
It's funny how people.
How many inches are you dilated? Like,
Right. One time I had to yell at this man. His wife was delivering the baby, mid-delivery. We got these cards to help us on, and it's like step 1 to 50 at this point. And it went from step 1, and next thing I'm like,
we're on 32, step 32.
Yeah, like, wait, no. Did you wash your hands yet? We don't have time for that. Let's
He's like,
go.
the baby's head is in my hands.
Right. So he loses it, and all he starts doing is, I want my mommy. Mommy. I was like, is your mom there with you to help?
That was the person having the child?
husband.
The husband?
The husband of it. Yes, this is his child coming out and talking about, I want my
man.
mommy. I said, is your mom there? No. I was like, get it together.
I can understand my man freaking out. I can understand my man freaking out. I don't know if I'm asking for moms.
Oh, he was asking for moms.
But I can understand my man freaking out. He's like, this, first of all, I'm looking at my thing just all destroyed right in front of me. Then I gotta protect the child that's coming out, right? And make sure I don't fuck this up, right? It's all kind of other stuff. Yeah, I can imagine that could be traumatic.
Mm-hmm. It's rough. I don't have to see it.
Yeah, you just like, oh yeah. Is the stuff out yet?
Yeah.
I can't with y'all.
Rough life.
By now, you should be seeing a face. You see a face? If you don't see a face, you done fucked up.
Yeah, on my end, I gotta hear that baby cry. Once I hear the baby cry, I can finally breathe. Whew, okay, we got that baby
Now
out.
smack it.
Yes, tickle the foot, do something. I don't hear any tears there, no cries. Yeah.
Dang, and then once you hear it cry,
Then you like have a relief because you know it's okay.
you're like, all right,
'Cause,
man, I'm gonna send you to the hospital now.
Exactly. Because there's been those times that baby come out and not breathing. Now we gotta.
Oh,
Okay, let's get CPR on this baby, and now we got to go into another mode, and the mom is still going through like I just gave birth, and now this baby not breathing. We've done that too. Yeah, I've had that twice.
That's stressful.
Very. He's just like on the other end, like
That's
you can't
stressful right there. Boy.
can't see what's going on, but you can hear what's not going on.
The miracle of childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh,
Good for
thank you, thank
Good for
you.
And I'm glad, Taz, that you got a vacation coming up.
Hey, and I'm glad I'm going with you.
And we both got birthdays coming up.
Aries.
You feel me?
Woo!
Aries gangs.
Yeah.
Aries
Yeah, that's right. We're all
Yep.
Aries.
God of War.
Yep. I roll with mine. I roll with my Aries.
He did not. See, but I'm not about war. I'm about love and peace. So, you know.
Taz ready to thrash some shit though.
Only when I got to.
Yeah.
Only when I got to.
Yeah. Only when she got to. Only when you got to?
Only when he got to.
All right. Let's see. What happened this week?
Shit.
Man.
Anything in particular you guys
Oh.
were interested in?
Let's see. That happened this week. outside of
Anything
what we
happened this
know?
week? This week was kind of like newsless, right?
Not really.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, all right. Let me see. We got a list. Right, I'm gonna start having everybody like have stuff they want to talk about besides all this main stuff. Like if you got anything niche,
Mm-hmm.
like
Let's look at this list.
bring it up. Let's see. Okay, look, before we get started, what I'm saying, we're just gonna do a Death Row update and get this out the way because it's Death Row time. You know what I'm saying, because Snoop resurrected Death Row.
Right.
I love that shit. I'm gonna keep talking about it.
I know.
Death Row is back, motherfuckers.
Right.
West
that
Coast.
was man.
All right, well, look, Snoop has been saying that Death Row is going to be a NFT record label. He hasn't really detailed what that is. We got to kind of assume what we might be saying.
Right.
But what he's done now, he's put the first offering out there or teased the first offering. He hasn't put it out there, but the first offering looks like it's going to be nothing but a G thing.
Oh.
Right? Which is like, that's not the first song Snoop was on.
Right.
This Deep Cover was the first
I was
one
going to
we
ask,
heard.
wasn't that the first?
No, Deep
No,
Cover.
I was saying Deep Cover was what came to
yeah.
mind.
Deep Cover was the first one when he came out. But that hitter though, even though Deep Cover was a hitter, so I'm not trying to take
Deep Cover went.
I'm
It
not
still
trying to
go
take nothing
hard.
away from Deep Cover because Deep Cover still go hard.
Mm-hmm.
But G Thing was something else. G Thing was like grannies and shit was like, I like that.
Right.
And they was talking that shit and like everybody was rolling. And that Nothing But a G Thing is looking like it's going to be the first NFT release. So remember we were talking about a few weeks ago? Now that it's going to be an NFT release, which is a digital offering, right? Is that going to what else? Like, is it out of the sphere of just us being able to get it outside of that? Or do you have to buy it now since it's not in streaming? Yet to be determined. But you'll definitely be able to buy the NFT. And that's what creators are getting back to, man. Can you buy our shit, please?
Right.
I'm still kind of trying to learn about all that. You know
You know what
it's
NFT
still-
stands for?
Not really.
NFT stands for non-fungible token.
Okay.
All right. What it allows it to do is what it allows them. I said that twice, but it allows them to put certain signatures into the digital copy so that it identifies it as unique, right? You know what that means? Because on a computer you can copy anything.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Well, on this you can't necessarily copy it.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what it's doing. It was NFTs were introduced as like in the art world, but everybody else is taking to see where they can make some money off.
And
of
I
it now.
gotta go get a different type of currency in order to buy it.
Not necessarily. There, it is crypto. There are starting to be other mediums for you to be able to purchase things through crypto. Like there's another
right. You just said it gotta go through crypto, which is what
no
I'm
crypto.
saying.
No crypto is it's the currency, and NFT is in the crypto world. But there are there's a new card that's coming out. I forgot who's doing it. And what it allows you to do is be able to buy that stuff without having to go through like having the crypto wallet and do all that stuff. You're going to be able to just directly buy it like with your Visa MasterCard. All right. So it's going to all fucking start making sense because it's going to have to. Yeah. Because it's going to be integrated more and more into what's going on as more bills get passed, and it's going to be allowed. There are certain countries that have adopted like Bitcoin is, I think it's Nicaragua or something like that. One of those countries. I don't want to, it's not news. So one of them damn countries in Central America has adopted it as their primary currency.
Crazy, right?
It is. Because what's crazy is it's still early. It's not truly really backed by anything. I mean, the blockchain, but
yeah, no.
it's still like based on like if you believe it's true, it's true. It's still kind of like that, even though it holds value.
Yep.
Because enough people believe it's true right now.
All I know is I dumped maybe $50 into one of those accounts, and then one day I woke up and I forgot about it, and I said, "Let me go check and see what the $50 did," and it was $400. And I was like, "Oh, well, that was the easiest $350 I made in life." Like I went to sleep and a few weeks later and woke up
had some
with no rhyme or reason for me. So I'm just like,
that's a flip.
I gotta figure something else out to make this happen again. Cause I
mean, I understand blockchain somewhat. I'm not a crypto expert by any means, but I have a good understanding of some of the technology that's backing it.
Out of the three of us, I'm just
I'll ask Shanni.
The bottom person.
I'll ask Shanni. We're in the future. So as the future turns into the future, we don't get caught in the past.
Right.
Because things are changing.
Quickly.
Things are fucking changing. Hey, look, on some real shit, I don't want to spook nobody, but I definitely heard Joe Biden say New World Order like 3 times in a speech like about 3 weeks ago. I definitely heard that.
I noticed that. Yep.
Definitely heard that. So, I'm not getting too into that because this is not the conspiracy pod. Right. But that definitely did happen.
Exactly.
At least 3 times he said that in that speech.
I heard it once for sure, but yeah, I know. So 3 times. That's a little like, okay.
Things are changing.
Big time.
Yeah, when you see like all these like wars and powers consolidating and doing all this stuff, hey, new money, hey.
Right. That's just insane how it just flips over like that. Scary.
And you no longer have to have vaccine mandates anywhere. Magically.
You see, that's been my argument the whole time about that. I was just like, it's gonna go away.
It's always was going to go away. Yeah. It was just during that time if you wanted to move around.
Yep.
But some places are still doing that because the place I went to for drinks last night, they actually checked your vaccination card if you were going to be sitting inside.
Very few, but I mean, I think it's upon the business now.
Right, they get a choice
as far as the mandate. The mandates have been lifted.
I don't know how I quite feel about it though. I know it's a controversial thing, but I can tell you since I've been back in the school, since I'm in the school, and it's funny, I just want all those parents out there who tell their kids to wear a mask while they're at school to know your kids ain't doing that shit. Like they get in there, you leave the car with your mask, but they see the other kids don't have theirs on, so they take it off. Right. But my anxiety has been higher, not just because of COVID, but kids are so fucking germy. So they've
always were germy,
right?
COVID.
But I got sick lesser when everybody had to wear a mask, and now they really just be, and I'll be like,
wear your mask.
I do. And they
Yeah,
also
I'm
now
not
laugh
accepting.
because in my corner space where my desk is, they have now been trained. You can't come past a certain point. And when they leave out for recess and lunch, I lights all the room. So
they got shot collars on them or something.
Nah, it's just that they know. Like,
Like
one kid got
past
ready.
that little point. It's like
Yeah, one of the kids, he got ready, hand me something. He was like, "Oh, my bad," and he stepped back because I'd be like, this is my space.
Right.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this. I'm not going to talk about it too long. We just got on, but I don't mind the mandates being down. You still have the option to protect yourself if you want to. So
that's what it should always be.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Though, I mean, I understand no, I don't understand. But I can see how, when shit was bigger, how they could say, let's try to just protect everybody as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can see that too. Even though you're right, that's probably how it should have been throughout the whole time. Protect yourself. If you're too dumb to protect yourself,
right,
then you get what's coming to you.
Yeah, and then can I just say in the beginning, if somebody would have did what they should have did when they found the first person and with the problem, and oh no, we're just gonna shut down our borders and prevent. Oh yeah, that could have stopped it all too. But
I don't think that would have stopped it. But I get where you're coming from. I don't think that would have stopped it though. I think it was still because they weren't going to just shut everything down. That was too drastic of action to take too at that point because it wasn't enough known.
Yes, I think more people knew
Quote,
way
unquote.
more. And when you had somebody in office who was just like, oh, okay, well, what's
Well,
that?
we definitely
like,
had-
you know,
We had the wrong person in office.
right?
at that
Like,
time.
wait, hey, no, this could blow up.
That dude-
we are the experts, and we're showing
Dude
you.
was getting his
Ah.
information off the Fox channel.
Exactly.
All right. Like, come on. Tucker
Mhm.
Carlson was telling the news of the day.
Yes.
This is what you should be interested in.
You know, it is very few people in entertainment. Usually I just be like, I just don't watch him, right? And I never watch him, but there are just few people that I just strongly dislike without ever watching them. And he is one of them.
I've seen him. It's more clips. I just don't understand how somebody can even look at him and take him serious. Like,
Right.
how are they
Like
looking
that
at this?
face just makes you
How
know
are they
he's
taking?
lying.
They're taking this dude
Like,
serious. Like
right.
they look at him and like, I want to listen to what he says. Who wants to listen to what he says? And then it's all he does is fucking hypothetically raise questions. And,
Right. And, he
and
goes,
then they that's
what
literally-
if?
he just hypothetically raises fucking conspiracy questions and they run with the shit. He don't even
Yep.
really say it is what it is.
Right.
Well, maybe because could you think it could be so and so or so and so?
So
Do you know who comes next though for me? Is that Laura chick. Like I can't
Ingraham?
stand her. Yeah, she's just
Oh.
I'd be like, damn.
She's not as bad as him, but she's
Yeah,
bad.
no.
She's
It's like
definitely bad.
it's like once they feed her the dumb information, she
Yeah.
just regurgitates
Runs with
it.
And she
Yeah.
goes like her you know what I hate the most is the way she holds her mouth. Like that's why I'm saying it's like shit about people that I never knew I disliked. But she holds her mouth in a way that I'd be like, bitch, shut it. Like, please just shut it before something flies in it. Like it's almost like her jaw is like, I don't know, it's like not joined.
I go over there because I like to hear both sides of the argument, and I don't like the other news either. So
Right.
I don't watch her. I usually catch
I'm
clips
just
on YouTube
I'm just saying it's like
about shit.
it's just weird that we don't have a news outlet as far as that we can just go to like a TV that is just like a straight up the middle news outlet. Everybody
Mhm.
is like vying for their fucking ratings and their viewers and they're spitting their side of the viewpoint.
Right.
You know, we don't just have straight up news.
Well, you
Straight
know
up,
what?
This is what happened. I don't care how you felt about it.
Right. Or
I liked-
lean towards something.
I did like the Black News Channel, and there's actually another one that I don't think is gonna last very long, just like that one didn't. But I also think it had a lot to do with the publicity because they got more publicity when they shut down.
They were leaning too.
No, but I'm just saying I liked how they had different. You guys, even if there was a lean, you still had depending on
wanna
what you
lean.
watched. That's not what I was
Right.
gonna say.
No,
Depending on what you watched, you actually got people that were knowledgeable from different points of view on there, where it wasn't just the like, I just had you on my show just so I could tell you that I think your point is stupid. Like you actually
Mhm.
got to see they gave their points. And even if we're having a debate, it wasn't like, let me make you look stupid because my point is right and yours is wrong.
Right.
Which is why I actually can say I did like that channel.
Mhm.
And I also felt that they gave a lot of information about different things that you're right. You wouldn't have got even on that same topic watching CNN or Fox. Like they made sure they gave you
Mhm.
basically all the information that they could. You run with it, what you want, type of thing. That I did like. It wasn't just to me, depending on what show you watched on it. It wasn't always just one side.
I just don't like the slant. I know it's there. And I like to, that's why I'd like to just try to take in news from a bunch of sources,
Mhm.
kind of aggregate it, and hopefully I'm getting what's going on.
I could come
And
to
it's
something.
like, and
a
even
happy
like
medium.
even like some foreign sources, you know what I'm saying? Foreign sources a lot of times to give you a little more information.
Yes, because you look at some of those foreign sources, like when I was in Turkey, and your phone gives you news updates or whatever,
Right.
and I'm looking like, okay, well, here's these little news updates from the area, and they're talking about the United States and the whole what was brewing in Russia before the war started, and it was crazy. I was like, wow, these reports are pretty detailed. Like the information you were getting was like way better than over here, and to think like, wait a minute, they're 5,000-6,000 miles away and got a better overview.
We don't look at
stuff.
our information as censored, but our information is censored too.
Yeah,
very much so.
I'm gonna say something that you guys probably would never thought I would say. When I was actually younger, whose news I actually liked was BET Nightly, because they did have like people from different places. Like all the news wasn't just about what was going on in the United States. It actually had like that world view,
news, right?
And then it also had like whatever was going here. It may not have been a top story, on the mainstream news channels, but they were like, let us tell you what impacts the Black community type of news every night with Jackie Reed. And I loved actually watching that.
I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar with
Believe it or not, because I always I don't like BET, but I did like the nightly news.
Oh, okay. I wasn't making that connection because I was thinking that's exactly the news I would think you like, but that's true. Okay.
Yeah, I just wish journalists out there would take their journalist, like, I don't know. I just feel like there should be kind of an oath, like doctors take an oath to say, like, you should stand by your oath of, I'm a journalist and I'm really going to report the who, where, when, and why.
Well, a lot of times it's not the journalists. A lot of times journalists just write stories based on, it's just how it's presented. It's not a lot of newspapers, right? So it's so we're getting it from websites that could be whoever wrote the shit, because anybody could put something on a website. And then, like I said, your CNNs, your Foxes, all those. Usually when you're able to just read reports straight up from the reporters, you get it without that. But it's all the opinionists that come in, and they that's why. And it's like what they choose to make the news show about today.
In that fashion. Have you watched the morning news? I get a glimpse of it sometimes now, and I'm like, what club did they wake up out of and come to work?
Ever since Jillian Barber.
Yes, she started it.
Ever since Jillian Barber, they sexified all the damn news women.
Just like
news women used to be kind of boring.
Right.
Ever since Jillian Barber, I've seen them like take like little like homey looking women on certain shows, like on KTLA, I think. It was ones that came in that was like the weather girl, and they were just probably went to school for meteorology and that type of thing, and they brought her in and gave her the run through, like, we didn't like that. A month later, she is sexed up. She got them sitting up. She's bright. I'm like, oh man, yeah.
Right.
So they do that. They put them through the program.
That's crazy.
And the stylists, they like, shorten that, show some leg.
Let me fix that hem.
Yeah, all that. All right. Let's get to it.
Are we
Let's get to it.
Okay.
All right. Well, before we get to that, we'll take a break and then we'll come to that. But before we get to that, the House passed a bill to decriminalize marijuana on a federal level for the first time. Now, that doesn't mean the Senate has passed it.
Right. I don't think it's going to work in the Senate.
Not this first time, but it's been a gradual build up, and they got to catch up to the states.
Oh, I agree.
They got to catch
wholeheartedly.
up to the states.
As a person who does not smoke, I still always have thought criminalizing it was dumb. in my opinion. But I just
Well, we I don't know if you know the original story on how it ended up being criminalized, but that was a drug czar years ago. That was it invaded the textile industry, and they put the kibosh on it.
but I'm just saying I kind of feel like like I said, with the way the Senate is looking right now, I don't really, I have to, it would have to be something really major to happen in November for me to think that we're going to get any of the changes that should have been happened, is what I'm saying.
Well, this could happen before November.
I doubt it. Not with the way the Senate is set up.
I'm saying I don't think it's going to pass. But the way it's set up now would be ideal versus what I think is probably going to happen after the midterms.
Why would you think it's ideal?
Just because we still have the majority in the Senate.
No, when you really think about stuff like this, we're 52 to 48.
Well, it depends. I don't know where Manchin and Old Girl sit at on this.
You don't?
Not on this. No, I don't. I don't know where they sit on it, but that's because I haven't looked into it. Because Manchin plays he fucking toes
right,
the line.
And that's why I'm
forth. So
that's why I'm saying you got him for the Supreme Court. You ain't gonna have him on this.
I don't know where they're at in regards to this. But like I said, this is the first time around. It's going to come back around. Eventually, it's going to pass. So this is the first time it's got introduced and went this far.
But the only way it's going to pass is if what you're thinking is going to happen in November doesn't happen, and we actually get what we would need in order for that to happen.
I don't believe that. I believe that. Just because of the money. I just believe because of the money that can be made that it's going to pass. That maybe if it did this time around, that's why it got as far as it got. It's going to pass. That's why, like I said, they have to catch up to the states. People are fucking making money all over the country.
Correct.
With this, and eventually, the constituents of these people are going to flip.
Do you really? Nah. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Hey, look, they still want to get reelected. Right.
Yes, and I understand that.
That's it.
But
that's what it comes down to.
It ain't gonna be based on this. They're not like.
It's come this far.
And it has, but it also came this far. If you look at the way it passed in the House, it wasn't really a big bipartisan type of thing. And that's what I'm saying. I don't feel that with us split 50-50, and really when it's time to vote on shit like this, it's 52-48.
All it has to do is get reintroduced and be their idea. If it was their idea, they would support it. They just
I don't see it being
they're very fucking partial to their sides. All it has to be is one of them introduce it like it was his big idea, which is going to happen the next time it comes around, because like I said, they have to catch up to the states, and their constituents are putting pressure. That's why it's happening in the states. The constituents are putting pressure on the situation. Eventually, they're going to succumb to that pressure because they don't really have much it's not that many from the opposition side. It's not, like I said, that's waning. They see the money that can be made now.
Right. I was going to say, it's going to boil down to money. Once they are able to flip it and see how the dollars
fucking billions of dollars
lay, exactly, then it'll do. And then the taxes on it is going to change and everything, and they're going to be able to pad their pockets even more from, we're doing you a favor. Even against it. From doing you a favor.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's gotten this far. This is the first time it's gotten to this point. It's going to get rejected probably. Bam. It's going to happen again. Get rejected again. By that next time around, we may have something.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. I guess that's where my annoyance comes from. Because some shit, I just don't think you should have to go through it that many fucking times. Just do it right the first fucking time and let's move on to another topic. Like, that's just me. Maybe it's that hopeful me that goes, why are we wasting fucking time? Like, that's a waste of time. Yeah. We could be, you know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
There's so many pressing things in the world that pass the shit, move on to the next problem. Like, everything doesn't have to be a fucking argument. Like, that's just me. I know I live in a perfect world in my mind, but it's just some shit that is just like, the shit's right. Like, the thing that just passed too in the House was about the insulin being where they were like, families will basically be saving money.
They put the cap on the insulin.
Yeah. As a person whose mom, and I'm not trying to say I'm special, I know what that shit costs. Like, if she didn't have, all the different things that we were able to find, which took finding, she would literally be sitting there going, well, you might have to say bye to mama because we don't have that kind of money. And I don't think anybody should have to think about that. But the fact that there were a lot of people who voted against that shit. Right. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you can't be so beholden to no, my party said no. Like, you don't even like
some of it is party line, some of it is the money that's been
and
put
that's
in
what
their
I'm
pocket.
saying. At some point, right has to just be right. Like, you still gonna make money. What I'm saying is you're still gonna make money off of it. I know your whole theory of you just want to make
ideal.
more.
No,
but come on now.
I'm just saying that's ideal. But no, that's something like, of course, I say business is always going to be business and want to make more money. But that right there is something they can put a cap on. Like that is something that is for the goodwill of people.
Right.
People need that shit.
Right.
That's why you fucking do the research to come up with these drugs.
Exactly.
But then you want to go, like you still got to go to the Senate where, the people who's really making money from it, they're like, oh. Because I'm telling you Manchin is not going for that.
That's the way laws get passed.
Because his daughter is in that industry, and that's where I got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, that's where greed becomes an issue for me. Because your greed is literally saying, I don't give a fuck whether your mama live or die. I need this money. Like, the fuck?
But it's like the whole medical system like that. I've always fussed and fight. Like, okay, my hospital stay was like an enormous amount. Like, you're like, how did this happen? And you look at what it is. One time I went to the hospital in the back of the ambulance, the oxygen for 3 miles. They actually charge you per mile of oxygen or something. Right. It was $1,500 for me to breathe in some oxygen. I'm like, hey yo, I could have breathed in the free air. Now I have decent insurance or whatever, so I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. But just the idea that they hide things and they don't cap things, and then even when you do right and you're a person like you work 30 years, you retire, you think that you shouldn't have to worry about the prices of medical. So now here we come with this.
Our medical system is fucked up.
It is. Very. Because we have like Discover California. We have these private ones. For example, 30 years ago, mom's had a brain tumor, right? She couldn't work anymore. Things got bad. Pops was like, medical insurance, we can't pay for it no more.
Yep.
So guess what? No medical insurance. They work for themselves. Now me, I work for a big entity. City, county workers get these really great medical benefits because they're in a hole. Right. That benefit is different than what my mother and father are paying as people, just paying their own little insurance.
Out of their pocket, right.
So, needless to say, when she got there and they finally found the brain tumor, like, yeah, we got to give you brain surgery. After everything was said and done, the bill was like $1.5 million. She didn't have insurance. So the social worker was like, I was trying to see if the lapse was like close enough where we could reinstate it. But even if we did, there's a small little clause because you are a working person, you run your own business clause. We do not pay for this heart surgery or any brain surgeries whatsoever. So had you had medical insurance, you would be stuck owing the hospital the $1.5 million for the surgery. But because you don't have medical insurance, guess what? Can you pay the $10 administration fee because this is a public hospital? Excuse me? So you could write off $1.5 million for people. But if they were paying their butts off, their asses off to make this premium every month, your medical insurance would have been obsolete in this situation and you'd be on the hook for $1.5 million. I
don't even want to talk about our medical system because it's fucked up.
It is.
You could talk about that shit for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
And never come to a
but
good
it
solution.
Can be fixed. Because people are playing politics, that's why it won't ever be.
Lives.
We know that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. No doubt.
Which was what my point was, even with the whole weed thing and all of that. It's like people think it's not a game. My life is not a game. Like,
right.
And y'all literally are playing games with this shit. Like, for shit that to me shouldn't even be that difficult. Just sign on the dotted line and let's move the fuck on to the next.
People, they got in that position and they do shit to their benefit. It's just what it is.
And the nasty part.
So maybe we need to get more people that get into that field instead of doing other shit.
But what kind of handcuffs will they have from even if you go into that field?
Sometimes you are, but I have a buddy that's been in the political landscape for a long time. You're able to get support. If you want to do good, you can do good. You can get shit done.
But it always seems to me, my perception, I'm not on the politic world. I think everyone comes in with this great idea, like I want to change and do good, and then as you start to grow and climb up that ladder and, okay, I need to be a
That
senator.
depends on the person. That's just
Right.
that depends on the person. And what were your motivations for getting in there? Because you're right.
But even with the motivations, I think at a certain point in time, it comes down to this, just like you said about the constituents and what they want. So then you have to make a decision. Like the lobbyists play a big deal in this. So you got these lobbyists who are about the water game, and you got these who are about the air game. So at a point, even if you're the greatest person, they're gonna be like, hey, if you want to get reelected, you're going to have to choose a side. So do you want your constituents to be able to breathe air, or you want them to drink clean water? So you got to decide, well, if we choose the clean air, then we could just get them water purifiers and make the water better. Or, they can put something in the water.
Sometimes they're there to make tough decisions. Sometimes they have to just get out and do something else because, they've gotten to that point. And sometimes they make the hard decisions and say, we'll do this and try to do that. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on where your heart is at when. I don't want to say just when getting into it, because you may feel a certain way when you get into it that people get corrupted, right? But you also have people that whole time that they actually in there doing what they need to do. And maybe they don't always elevate to those higher positions.
Or get reelected.
Or,
because you did the right thing.
But you don't have to necessarily be in all those high positions to get stuff done. You know what I'm saying? All those people have a bunch of people working underneath them that are doing sometimes good things, sometimes great things, sometimes fucked up and foul things.
Right.
So
it just shouldn't be that way, and it eats me up every time.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Hey, that's what it is. All right. Break time.
Break.
Hey, we back.
Hey.
All right, it's time. Let's get into it.
I've been waiting.
Let's get to it.
Say.
It's time. We all know when we're down this week, for real. It was the beginning of the week. Normally, I ain't gonna lie. Normally, I'm a little upset because we're only once a week.
Yeah.
And sometimes it seems like we're like late to some of these news stories. You never know when they happen, but a lot of times it seems like we like get to it like a little late. This time, I'm not so mad at it.
Because it's been all week.
And like small things have been unfolding as the week. You know what I'm saying? So we actually have more information now versus it being like one little small, concise event that everybody talked about and then it passes. This is still going.
You want to know what's funny? My homegirl hit me after it happened. She was like, first, y'all.
Oh no, go say that. And then I'm gonna tell what happened.
Right.
We gotta do a better job at that.
She was like, well, no, I knew you was going there, but I was like, before we end up getting into that convo, which I gotta shout her out. Shout out to Mina because she supports the podcast. But
shout out to Mina.
And she was like, y'all probably need to have an emergency, session after this. And I was like, nah, we gonna end up doing it like when we know. She's like, it's gonna be old by then. So by the time we got to that, I was like, this shit ain't old. Like it's still.
I mean, it's going. It's been wearing. Because it's been wearing. They're wearing it in the dirt. But like I said, more things have come out through the week. So I'm not so mad this time that we get at it a little late. All right. So first, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, on the Oscars, Sunday, right? Sunday. Which is a day after the day that we record. We record on Saturdays. At the Oscar Awards, Will Smith went up on the stage and appeared
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
to smack Chris Rock after Chris Rock told a joke on the Oscar stage. Chris Rock wasn't even the host, was he?
No.
He was just presenting that award. He was just presenting.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't watching the Oscars.
Neither was
when it happened.
Were you? I don't think none of us was watching it. Were you watching?
When that actually happened, no. But I happened to see him taking the speech. And he was upset and like, I hope they invite me back. And I was like, well, what happened?
Okay,
did they offend him?
So for me, I don't know if I told you guys, I'm taking care of my grandmother partially because she had a hip surgery. So I was with her. I was cooking, right? I was making dinner. I wasn't watching it, and I hear her like, "Whoa!" right? And I'm like, "What went down?" She said, "Hey." I don't know if it was real or not. She was like, but Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock on the stage right here. Went down, right? And then yelled at him something about his wife, right? She like, I don't know if it was real or not, but that's what just happened. And I'm like, what? I said, oh, man, let me go check the internets.
Right.
Right? Let me go check the internets and see what it was. So wasn't nothing on the internets yet.
Yeah.
Right?
It took a while to get up there.
That was, I guess, live. When she saw it, she called me immediately. Wasn't nothing on the internet, so I went. By the time I put the phone down, went back to the stove, came back to the phone, internets was going crazy. Right? Our group chat
That's how I
went
found
bananas.
Mhm.
Our group chat went bananas. Like right not soon after. Bam, bam, bam. And I was mad because I kept hearing it going off, but I was cooking and I couldn't get to it. So
That's
all
how
right.
I found out because
That's
I
where we
don't
are.
watch award shows like that. You know, we've talked about that before. I didn't even know it was the Oscars. I've never given a fuck about the Oscars. So it wasn't like if I would have known it was on, I was going to be watching it anyway.
You never ever cared about the Oscars?
No, that's just.
Okay. All right.
I have my reasons. But
always?
yes, because it's just never. We'll
All
talk
right.
offline about it. But my thing was that, and usually, you know, I'm late to the group chats. Like I usually am days behind anyway. I don't know what Sunday I was sitting on the bed with my phone, contemplating was I really going to work Monday? And then, like when I seen it, I was like, oh, let me see what y'all talking about. And then I don't know who posted it, but they was like, I don't know if that was real or fake. And I was like,
I was me. Because I did tap
no,
in
it was
for a
a
hot
girl
second.
first. No,
Oh,
it was the
okay,
other
okay.
one.
I did hop
She
in quick
posted
and
something.
then, yeah, all right.
And that's when I was like, I don't even know what y'all talking about. Like, you know, my
Right.
normal, like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Right.
And then when I was like, oh, the Oscars is on. Okay. And then I started noticing, like, my homegirl was hitting me. She texted me and was like, yo, did you see that? And I was like, see what? Now, mind you, she 3 hours ahead. So I'm like, why your ass ain't sleep is the question.
Right.
And she was like, Chris Rock just, you know, got slapped by Will Smith. So I get up because, you know, my mom be on the news all the time. So I was like, man, did you hear it? She was like, no, for what? So then that's when I had to go look it up. And I was like, y'all gotta be
internets.
fucking kidding me.
Do your Googles.
Right.
Social media went crazy.
But when it went crazy, you still couldn't figure out was it real or not at first.
I still don't know if it's real or not. Keep it all the way real. I'm going to talk
Right.
about this, but I'm still on the fence on whether it's real or not. So everything that I'm saying is hypothetical.
Oh.
I think it's real at this point. Just because of the way it has panned out, like over the days.
It might have panned out differently than they wanted to. It still could have been fake going in, and then it panned out differently than they wanted to. The fallout was different.
Nah,
like I said, I'm gonna talk about it as if it happened. So that's what we're gonna do. But I'm
So
just
where we
telling you,
starting at
I'm
with it?
skeptical still because that just didn't look like a good smack to me. That downward little weird, that just didn't.
Here you go.
But bow, as if. Okay, so what?
So let me tell you, where are we going with this? Before, am I giving my opinion?
Where
right
we going
now,
with
this
it
whole
first?
thing?
Jokes. Well, I'm going jokes.
Man, them jokes are hilarious.
I'm going jokes. Did you see the joke? Hold up, man. Hold up. Let's do this. Wait a minute.
The
Where's
guy
my
on
phone?
TikTok who did the video of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air opening about my
Born
wife got slapped. that one
Hey.
that one was crazy.
Hey, the jokes was
Yeah.
going off. Niggas had all kind of slap videos.
Mm-hmm.
It was going down early.
Yeah, they were.
Hey, the internet, you guys are fast. If
MVPs.
I didn't know they were fast before, you guys are quick.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy them. I'm sorry.
What?
I didn't.
Come on.
I did
See,
not.
I'm still in the world where if it's funny, it's funny. And you know, my humor is
Me too.
dark, period, because of what I do. It's evolved into something different. And
Funny is funny.
Yeah, funny is funny, and offensive is offensive. Sometimes offensive
Still,
is funny.
sometimes offensive is funny.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, like, with all the jokes about, I haven't found anything that just stuck out. And I was like, oh, that shit was a funny, you know, thing about it. Like, it just hadn't hit, you know, and I've been on, especially when I didn't want to be bothered with the children.
Look, the Fresh Prince song was funny.
Yes.
Let me tell you something about my wifey with no hair. That shit was funny.
Yes.
Hold up, man. It was another song that was fucking, they did like some drill shit. That was
Yeah, no. Those jokes.
Oh,
But you know
man.
what? I did kind of skip over a lot of that. So to my defense, I
Oh.
wasn't really checking for the memes or
Mhm.
the videos. Like I just really
You mean all the
wasn't.
fun?
It was.
That was the
Can we
fun.
talk about it?
That was the fun.
I didn't find anything fun in it, so that's why I don't think it was.
Okay. We're deep diving now.
I got to. Okay, so let me tell you
She's-
my issue.
She's like,
Okay,
let's
let me
go.
tell you my issue.
All right, come on.
So first of all, let's
I'm
just
getting
put it
back
out
to the
there.
jokes.
While you looking them up, let's just put it out there. If I had to say I was team somebody in this situation, I was 100,000,000% team Chris on this. And let me tell you why, okay?
Oh.
Number one, I saw the joke, okay? I saw the little joke. I had to go see, well, what the fuck prompted this, right? Because I'm expecting when you say somebody did some shit to defend somebody, I was expecting some real, like, foul-ass shit. So when I watched it, I actually did not like the joke. But I didn't take it as offensive. I just thought it was old. Like, you know, growing up in our era of G.I.
Mhm.
Jane,
Right.
you've heard that joke like a million times about a woman with no hair. So
Right.
I was just like, oh, he just resurrected, you know, some
A
old
joke.
shit.
Mhm.
You know, I got it. She was in all green.
Mhm.
Hair was shaved. All right. Like, it fell flat for me because I just thought it was old.
Right.
You know, I in no way took it as, oh, he coming for her. This thing of her having alopecia, let me say this. Newsflash, everybody don't follow them. Everybody don't know what's
I
going
had
on in their
no
life.
idea.
Either did I. So when people were literally going, it was public knowledge, and I'm like, to who?
Hey,
like,
I knew. In all honesty, I'm still okay.
right, but I'm saying out of 3 people in this room, 1 person knew that shit.
Right.
Prior to the slide. So you can't, and it was a lot of famous people, comedians that were coming out saying, like Ricky Smiley, and they were like, I ain't know that shit.
Right.
So to assume that this man knew that and meant it in malice, like, blew me. Cause I was just
Mhm.
like, what? Then on top of that, his ass was laughing. Like, not everybody like, oh, it's a nervous. Like, his ass was laughing like he was laughing at everybody else's jokes. So you gonna tell me he was
Right.
nervous when everybody else got clowned? Like, no.
All right. Okay. Can I cut in?
You
Just a
can
little
cut
bit?
in.
All right. Now, when it first happened, I thought the joke was subpar. I didn't think
Right,
the joke
yeah.
was.
corny.
Now, when I didn't see the joke, because I told you, remember, I got called in.
Mhm.
So I was under the assumption that the joke was about everything else that had been in the news.
Mhm.
I didn't realize it was a G.I. Jane joke, right? So
Mhm.
I thought it was Will reacting to that. And I thought that was super whack because he's the one that's been in the news
Mhm.
talking about that. But I was wrong because that's not even what it was about.
Right.
Okay, so that takes that out, throw that out the window. So now he has the G.I. Jane joke, right?
Mhm.
And he cuts in. It is the Oscars,
Mhm.
right? So it's a movie joke. But I don't-
Right.
But in the whole alopecia thing, I mean, she has it. I don't know if he knew or not, but is alopecia like a deadly disease?
No,
No.
it's not.
It's not?
No.
Okay. All right. So maybe a little extra.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little extra
Mhm.
that they're putting on it.
Yeah. If
Now,
she
we
had
saw-
cancer, there was chemotherapy.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Yeah.
little different.
Something of that vein.
mhm.
You could have, if you don't know the story, considering that's Jada Pinkett, who we've known to have a million
Short
Hair like
hairstyles,
that before.
and
hairstyles,
Yeah,
short
sure.
hairstyles, all kind of,
She's done this before.
I don't think that joke is out of line.
right.
That joke, it by itself,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
that joke by itself, right? Now, then
Oh,
you see,
you
then you
funny.
see, no, then you see the reaction from her,
Mm-hmm.
right?
She's just like,
Because like if you
whatever.
watch the long form of the video,
Mhm.
you see the reaction from her, where she kind of eye rolls
While he's
Mhm.
laughing.
the joke, no doubt, while he's laughing, right? Where he kind of, and then there's a gap where it cuts back to Chris Rock, right? We don't
Mhm.
see her, we don't see him. So whatever is the next, what's missing is the next interaction
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
between them is what's a big missing part of this story, because like everybody's talking like, it's like, well, she had to look and Will Smith reacted upon that look. I don't know if that look was something to react that drastic, right? But there was a gap
Mhm.
between
Mm-hmm.
the look had, Will Smith's laugh. It cut to Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Then you saw the action where Chris Rock, you could tell from him you could see where the action started where Will approached.
Right.
So I don't know what happened in that gap.
Right.
And that's what
it's important.
That's really important, and what troubles me, and the thing from that even it stops me from completely judging the situation because I don't know what happened in that gap. You know what I'm saying?
But why does it stop you from
because he got to go home with that woman, and I don't know what happened in that gap. I'm just saying as far as why I don't know why he reacted. It's because I don't know what happened in that gap. I'm not saying it was over the top regardless.
Yeah, going home with in that gap, even still, like, what did Chris Rock have to do with but deliver a joke? And this is my problem with it.
Go ahead.
This is the Oscars. We already know that everybody doesn't want any mishaps.
Right.
That joke that Chris Rock told
had been run past the brass and everything.
Right. So it was not even like he had to come up with his own stand-up right there to tell that joke.
No, that's
it was
written. That's
already
pre-written.
written. So I don't even have nothing to do with this. I'm a puppet and I'm just supposed to tell this joke.
He could have had something to do with it, but that being said,
some people are saying he did go off script on that. But even then, I still thought it was like light.
Because he is a comedian, he could have improv that. Mm-hmm. Okay, he could have improv that. Before I get to because I am going to get into the history. Right,
but before you do that, can you make sure you talk about what happened after? You know, it came out within the last couple of days, the other camera angle of when he's walking
Jada laughed after he slapped.
Right, and that's what pissed me off. So, okay, nobody can laugh when it's her, but she gets to laugh at somebody being assaulted. I don't care if people think a slap is not the same as a punch. You still assaulted this man on national TV. She can laugh about it, and y'all like, that's cool. But you don't want nobody to laugh when somebody makes a joke about you. It makes me look at you some kind of way.
It's only sin, and we don't know these people, so maybe she got a sinister thing going on. But that laugh, for me, meant that either she was satisfied with the outcome, right? That means that in some form or fashion, she somehow initiated what happened. Now, like I said, now we don't have that gap. You know what I'm saying? I really want to know what happened in that gap.
We ain't gonna get that gap.
Of course.
No, because I'm saying when they go to that table to talk about that shit, they ain't gonna tell you.
No, man. Man, somebody interviewed Lupita. Lupita know. Lupita know what happened in that gap.
Exactly.
Right? Lupita was right there. She was like, oh. She was giving all the looks. Oh. Right? But something was happening. I don't know if she told that nigga, like, nigga, you better get up there. I don't know. Look, I don't know if they had, because they know they've been in the because this is something that was going to run. Because they know they've been in the spotlight, I don't know if she had already put the battery on his back, like, they better not try us tonight.
Mm-hmm. But they had already been tried before we got to this one.
And he kept laughing. And then she gave him a look like, nigga, we had this talk already. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to identify how this happens.
But she was laughing too when Regina
I don't
Hall,
think, look,
and I like her.
I don't think like
she didn't have a problem with that.
Because the jokes about what they did, you know what I'm saying? That I guess maybe didn't hit him as hard as this.
I don't want to hear that because I had a friend. Well, I still have a friend. Shout out, girl. You know who you are. Who she suffered from alopecia when we were actually in school. Okay. And that's when kids are the most cruelest, right?
Right.
And to see this, right? I'm going, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Y'all are grown ass people. You just literally got on social media and was talking about how I don't care if don't nobody like it. I love my bald head. And somebody makes a joke that wasn't even like going, yeah, that's why you a bald headed bitch.
Now maybe look now another angle, right? Because that's all. Like I said, I'm just all hypothetical. Maybe they got a problem with him, with that guy,
and that's what it came down to. And I still say, and my teacher had on, regardless of what somebody says, that don't give you the right to put your hands on somebody. It don't. Right. You might not like it. Yeah, now, because I'm not going to lie, somebody say something about my mama, you might have to catch these hands. But what he said, that was way over the top. Because can I say this,
people put hands on people.
Right, but let me say this. Here's the thing. We just talked about the 3 people in this room.
Right.
Nobody actually saw it, right? Nobody saw it live.
Right.
And to be honest, even though they said viewership was up, a lot of people weren't watching it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it would have just rolled, right? He told the joke, show would have went on. None of this would have happened. This ain't what nobody would have even known about the joke or even been talking about the joke.
Of course.
They would have been talking about what you came for, which was people to get awards. Like Questlove getting
Of
that
course.
documentary award. The 2 Black women actually hosting the show. You know, him getting his award would have been what we were talking about.
Okay.
But you made it bigger. So now what you did overshadowed everything else everybody else worked for. That to me is selfish and is fucking foul. And they didn't call for that. And regardless of what their history and their beef was.
That whole King Richard family situation, like Serena and them are there. That now I'm embarrassed to even be part of this situation. Like, oh shit.
No, they was kind of laughing.
Man, I know, but like it's still
I'm just saying what happened.
Well, they said they didn't know if it was part of the show or not. Like they didn't know.
Yeah, but and in the aftermath, if this is really real that you flipped out and did this, Will Smith, who we respect as an actor, to portray this story, and you really slapped this man because of that, like, oh Jesus.
Especially when people have said way fouler shit than this.
Right.
That's what got me.
Hey, look, what's foul to you is
no. Now we know over the last years. Now let's give this. They put a lot of their business out there, right?
See his face.
They put a whole lot of their business out there that has opened up for people to talk about.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I said, right?
You ain't gonna slap 50 Cent and we know he be foul as fuck.
Right.
Don't come and smack Chris Rock because he said because your wife is bald and got on green that she reminds her of an army movie. You gotta be kidding me. That's what you got mad about? Of all the shit I done heard said about you and your wife and your kids.
He wasn't mad. She was mad.
Yep.
That's what she got out of all the shit people to talk. That's what she got mad about. Get the fuck off.
No, she got mad because she don't like Chris Rock.
And that's what I'm saying makes this even more stupid.
Yeah. And then like, okay, so if that was the thing, let me just tell you, people are, oh, all the married couples will understand this versus the people dating. I'm gonna tell you this: married
I
or
ain't
not,
even got on all these simps and all this yet.
Right, married or not. If my husband, my boyfriend, any of this, my husband went up there and embarrassed the shit out of me like that, I'm gonna be pissed off at him and we not having a good night.
Because it drew more attention to
Here's another angle. Why don't you stop me? Why you let me go up there and act like that?
Because at this point, like maybe I grab it. Well, what are you gonna do? You gonna go do something funny? Because you a comedian too, Will Smith. I don't know what you about to do, and I sure in the hell don't think that you about to smack.
She knows because whatever happened in that gap is what made him do it.
Yeah, because you be knowing when your dude get up like, and here's the thing, before people be coming, ain't nobody saying put it on a black woman now or any woman. The problem is though, sometimes there's a time and place for everything.
Yes, you can handle this in the
when
back.
You see they about to go at it, you be like, come on now, it ain't that serious. Let it go.
Bring on.
Women like seeing their niggas fight.
No, I don't. Don't embarrass me. Because think about it. If I was, let's just say this. If I had alopecia and I was sensitive about it, right? You put it on Front Street. Because there was a lot of people who did not know up until
I just thought it was a haircut. I said, oh, look, Jada cut her hair off.
Well, look, I would not saying that, but what I feel is, if he wanted people to keep his name, my wife's name out his mouth.
You fucked up because now it's more in people's mouth. Right. That's what I was telling my mom. I was like, you didn't want people to talk about y'all, but you just gave people
like
more
I said, man, you keep saying him. It's her.
Him and her. Let me say him and her because I don't think it's a one-sided. I'm just saying he's the one that committed the assault, though.
He did.
No matter what we think about her and her, he shouldn't have been able
to
say, baby, it ain't that deep. Let it go. Or catch his ass in the back when ain't nobody looking. Because you remember when we was young and your parents used to tell you, you're not supposed to be fighting over that. But if you must fight, you take that shit around the corner where you ain't getting caught.
Now, peep game. Now, okay, there's another point, right? Because, like I said, people put hands on people all the time. Wrong time.
Don't make it right.
Nope.
No, but it happens. When a wrong time and place. That could have been done in other.
Exactly.
Same night.
In another venue.
Same night. At that party where he was doing Big Willie style.
Right.
With the things, he could have been all in Chris Rock's face. That then, right? Maybe Chris Rock wasn't at the party. But maybe he wasn't at the party because he had already got slapped.
Nah, he went to a different party. He went to a comedy one because they were talking about it.
That's what I'm saying. But he might have been there if he didn't get slapped. He might have.
See, and now here we go. Here's where it gets tricky.
What?
I just hate.
We ain't hit the Chris Rock angle yet.
I just hate to be labeled in any way that now oh, the black people are the disdain of the Oscars now because they
Man, fuck
acted
y'all.
up there like. But fuck y'all. Yeah,
Not
it is.
One
but
person don't represent me.
But
Fuck
I
y'all.
Yeah,
know.
but it is a
I
thing
know,
called
but
respectability politics.
exactly, and I don't like ever being
person don't
viewed in that.
represent me. Fuck y'all.
I know they don't represent me either. But the world, like, traveling the world and people's perceptions of things, it always kind of low key bothers me that now the world has seen this, and the angry black people narrative is like, oh, he was mad over a joke, went up there and slapped the shit out of a man. Like it bothers me on that type of level. What you doing?
I think it's looked at more like he snapped.
And no,
that ain't no snap.
I'm saying how people are looking at it. No,
Okay.
Well, I
I'm not
will
saying.
say
I'm talking
this.
about what you said is the perception. I think the perception is he snapped. I think the perception.
I hope so.
Go ahead before I'll.
No, I was just gonna say, respectability politics aside, I feel where you're coming from without giving a fuck what others thought of us. You just ever know sometimes you just be like, when y'all going somewhere, we getting dressed, right? We gonna be in our Sunday's best. You was just always, you don't act a certain way.
Right.
No matter who's around, when you with family and you dressed up, that's not what you do.
I
So
understand
to
what you're saying,
get dressed up and you do that, I'm saying I didn't
I
think
just
to care
got to a
about what
point
they
where
thought.
I say fuck that. But
No,
I
I'm
get what
saying
you're
I didn't care about what others thought. I cared about what we thought about ourselves. To be like, it's just certain things you don't do. You don't get dressed up and then act like that. Like,
exactly.
who raised you? Like, that's what I be thinking.
Know how to carry yourself, no doubt.
But you really think he just snapped?
No, that's not what I said. I think that is
that's
the
a perception from the world.
I don't. Not from the comments I was seeing. A lot of people were just like, he was standing up for his wife.
Hey, listen,
he was standing up for his wife.
I saw that viewpoint, but another viewpoint I saw which is probably if closer to what probably happened is the nigga has been the fucking butt of jokes for the fucking past, no doubt. Self-inflicted. That's even more why you would take it on yourself. Self-inflicted, right? Self-inflicted also with your woman fucking somewhat emasculating you, fucking putting the fucking business out there repeatedly,
right?
No doubt.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Right? Repeatedly, right? And then it just come into a head. And like I said, there was, I'm gonna keep referring to that gap, you know what I'm saying? But it come into a head, and whatever she might have said to that nigga, it might have just been like, oh, you laughing type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he was laughing, you know, something very simple where he had to, or not had to, but whatever clicked, and he went and did what he did. Because he definitely did what he did, unless he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still a possibility.
But if so, why would he have resigned from the academy and all that shit? And now his shit is
that's what made me say
now on that point, retiring from the academy, he won his Oscar.
Right.
All right. So he's done. So if
they're gonna snatch it back.
So if they do it,
they're not gonna snatch it back because they let too much roll that they didn't snatch back when
they're probably not going to snatch it back. But he got his Oscar that he'd been trying to get over all this time, right? If it was fake, it went wrong. Clearly, it went wrong. Clearly, and now whatever the perception is the perception. So now they can come back and say whatever it was fake, whatever. All it's going to do is turn a million more think pieces on what was going on, and then I've seen it's a false flag operation to see how people react to stuff, how easily they can trick people. It's all different type of ways, things. You're going to get all kind of million think pieces because that's what you're getting right now is a million think pieces on how this affects black people or the emasculation of the black man or all these damn million things off of this little incident that just was really these two people that was fucking public, right? They could have went down in the back. It would have been a whole different situation, which is probably where it should happen.
Well, the one thing I can say really pissed me off as a person who does not support the Oscars, like I don't support a lot of shit, was I don't care if he was Will Smith. I'm a Denzel Washington fan. I wouldn't care if it would have been him. You don't let somebody assault somebody and then get to just sit there.
Right.
Like the shit didn't happen.
They should have put his ass out.
Yeah, and I think that's what helped people think that, this had to be part of the show. Because you literally let this man assault him and then he got to sit back and laugh at all the other jokes.
I was saying that before then. Or maybe it wasn't before then.
Like,
but the whole time, like I said, when the first person that proposed it to me, like I don't know if it was real or not because it didn't 100% look real.
Right. And now I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that to me, added that for other people. Because when you look at it, you
They
like,
might-
if somebody really
They might
assaulted
have.
somebody, you
They
ain't
might
gonna
have
do
just.
that.
They might look. All this shit could be fake. The resign
think
from the
so.
academy could look. The resign from the academy could be fake. All this shit could be fake. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? All of it.
So you think it's fake and nobody else is in on it but them? Because did you see?
No, the academy could be. Look,
Nah, that's not what I meant. Did you see Chris Rock's brother's response to that shit?
Hell
I
yeah!
can't
If Chris
see him
Rock
being
is in
on
it, his brothers ain't gonna be in on it. I mean,
Right,
couldn't
and you-
possibly
but
be
that's
in
what
on
I'm
it.
saying. Come on now.
Come on,
You
that's what
think
I'm saying.
everything
Come
is a
on now.
conspiracy theory
No,
with this, huh?
no, I don't. I'm just saying it, but it's possible.
Possible.
It's just as
Yeah.
possible.
I don't think
I'm
so.
just.
I don't
I'm-
think you would put all this energy into
Why?
keeping something going that
Why?
was fake.
Why?
What you mean? Why?
You see how many? You know how many impressions they got from this shit? How much attention they got from this?
And next year they're gonna be watching. And
All
see
they got to
what-
do next year
what
is do a
happens.
damn skit where they make up
Right.
all the impressions, all the man. You
They
okay?
finally got the
You didn't think
viewership that they
Peaches
wanted.
was sniffing either.
I didn't, because like I said, you know why my theory was different.
I know,
with
but I'm just
this-
saying. But same thing. I told you. You know, sometimes
I don't know.
Now, let me just say,
I'm of the thought process. It's on TV. You got to always
be
have some
fake.
bit of skepticism,
yes.
regardless.
And I did up until I told you certain things started happening.
But
I
that was
like,
all.
that
That's on
couldn't have been
TV
fake.
too.
But wait, this is where this is where fake and fake is. Okay, so code switching is code switching, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
My demeanor at work is a little bit different. Fuck with me outside of there. I'm from the hood, like JUNGLES, like Jungles is where I grew up. Like I got a whole nother lifestyle on the outside.
Right.
There's no way in the hell. Again, I'm in my Sunday's best.
Right.
Yeah, joke. I am a comedian. Wait, this
Nigga,
nigga trying to slap me?
Chris Rock's
He was
ticket
gonna stand
sales have gone up like 500%.
Right, but that's not
But
what
there's
she's
no
saying, though.
way in life, me as a man, gonna
I'm not
let a
letting-
man come and
Right.
bitch slap me,
I feel
and
you.
I'm standing here
Not
and
even for
for
fun.
the Oscars. And again, like we just talked about, we're gonna be in our Sunday's best, and we're gonna have decorum, and we're gonna act like we're supposed to act. But guess what? I'm standing here on this stage, and you just came and slapped the shit out of me. Fuck the Oscars and everybody else. We are not. This ain't.
Okay. Oh, now
you
Pete,
really
now
think
Pete,
they
now
would
Pete.
do that shit for somebody
Wait,
else's ratings?
Now, would that lead more to it being real or fake?
Real to me?
That would be real. But me as a
Really?
Yes, because if you looked at his response,
If someone came to smack you and you didn't react versus you did react.
he did react, he just didn't react the way most of
look,
us would have.
I watched it very slow.
would be
I watched it slow motion, all of that.
Thrombos.
So I watched it. I saw, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying, how he
Mhm.
reacted. I'm just proposing I'm just based on what you said versus which is a man on the stage taking it. Now, if it was fake, versus it being real and him retaliating, because in the real, you would think someone retaliates. That's what you're saying.
right.
Versus it being fake, and no, I don't have to retaliate because I know the shit wasn't real.
Right.
I didn't expect for it to go over like it went over, and now
Mhm.
we're in this position.
But even if I didn't expect it to go over and it was supposed to be like a shove and you smacked the shit out of me,
No, I'm
this
saying
fake, this
I mean,
fake.
the smack.
Oh,
look,
it's got
the
real.
smack wasn't to smack the shit out of him. That was a nasty smack. That smack wasn't.
But
that.
you still
It's just-
okay. Let me ask you this though: you are a black man, okay?
Yeah, let me hear
You're a
this.
black
Play
man.
or not?
All right. You mean to tell me, even for ticket sales and all that, you would
No, you're not smacking me, but I'm not Chris Rock.
Chris Rock didn't necessarily need that boost. Let's not act like he not Chris Rock.
Chris
though.
Rock ticket sales went from $41 a ticket to $346
though?
per ticket.
That man
I don't
got
give a
money.
fuck.
He didn't need that. What I'm saying is, you literally.
He's
let
still
yourself-
selling tickets.
I think he's missing my point. I don't
I'm
know
not-
too many
I'm-
black men that's gonna get up there and let you embarrass them on national TV.
I'm
that
not.
goes across the
I'm
world
not, but a
for
whole
some
bunch
damn
of-
ticket sales.
Hey, it's people. Hey, look. I don't
There's
want to.
people
He
who
ain't
sell-
like he's a
wait,
bottom
wait,
level
wait.
comedian.
Hey, look.
Wait, there's people who've sold themselves for less. Sold
Right, but I'm
themselves for
saying
less.
he's not a
Hey, look.
bottom level come up comedian.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
But he's not
It's
a
on
bottom
all
level
I'm-
come up comedian that
So
needs
what?
that.
It's on television. I don't know.
Nah.
Look, look.
I'm
All
not-
people.
no.
Okay.
I do
His
know
ticket
this.
sales went from $41 to $346 per ticket.
Okay, so let me just add to this TV illusion. Okay, so I did a reality show once upon a time in life, right? And at the beginning of the reality show, it aired overseas. At the beginning of the reality show,
I'm supposed to be saying this shit is real, so you got me over.
It is real.
So the reality show, the producers told us all, listen, whatever you do not ask this girl about this ring on her finger. And we were like, okay, because we had to like interact with the people on the show.
Right.
Don't ask about the ring on the finger. Like, stern, we will send your ass home. Like, that was her attitude. So the show started like, crazy shit. Like, we walking through the door. Cut. Let's start over. We're walking through the door. You didn't like how we walked it? No, you guys took too long. Like, are you kidding me? This is supposed to be reality. We just walk into the restaurant and sit down, right? Nope. We got to do it again. So anyway, when we got to the end, like, we was on our last day of shooting, the producer came and was like, hey, ask her about her ring. I'm like, what? Don't even tell us. Like, I'm not about to get thrown off the show and not get paid for my time. And then the next person come over. Come on. He could go on to everybody. Just tell them, hey, ask about the ring. And then we're like, what? So one guy was like, hey, what about that ring on your finger? What's that? And then mom was like, yeah, you told me that's just a promise ring. It's really her engagement ring or whatever, right? So we're like, what? Blew up the whole thing out of water. The family starts arguing and fighting. The family had no idea. The girl who's part of the show who said, please don't mention anything about my ring. Like, I don't want this part in here. She didn't even know that was happening. But the producer pushed it for, like, it was too dry. It was too dry. So you know what? We going off script, off of what we promised you, off of what we said, etc. And we're going to start shit for you and your family. Let's go. Now, that's
it's
just
it's on TV. It could be fake.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Just to add to you.
Everything that's happened, they had all it's been is literally they showed that moment, and then it's been a few statements. Mm-hmm. That's it. It could be fake.
What I will say through all of this, I have found now I knew people could be hypocritical. I'm not gonna lie, but I just found like looking at a lot of the comments, I was like, do y'all really just not understand how hypocritical you are? So in one breath, you're saying, yeah, he should have slept him. He stood up for his wife. But then when Tony came out and was like, you put your hands on my fucking brother, it is what it is, because it's 10 of us, and that's my brother at the end of the day. Y'all like, you don't get a right to do that. What you mad for? Your brother shouldn't have made the joke. And it's like, my nigga, that's his brother. Like, now I'm not dissing married people. I get it. Y'all took a vow. But literally, we share blood. We got same mama and daddy. That ain't gonna never change no matter what. So I get that mentality of, this is what you thought was okay. And the cold part was Tony Rock was like, we was cool.
I mean, but that's the same thing that you're taking on when you take on a wife. That what you just said.
And I get that, but I'm saying how you
what you take on when you take
you
on a wife.
Okay with this man assaulting another man, but when the brother comes out and it's like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, which could be him getting assaulted back, you like, nope, you took it too far. You took it too far. Yeah. You can't do that. You don't have a right to put your hands on that man.
It's all TV and Twitter.
Yeah. I just think bottom line, I think it is. That shit was, if it's real, that's just disgusting. That you went and did that. And if it's fake, okay, wow, everybody got what they wanted.
I think they tried to get a moment and it backfired.
Maybe.
Well, you have to tell me what they said up at the table because I'm not watching that bullshit. For you to go sit at the red table talk.
I'm not watching that.
Yeah, but it usually will hit your stream where you'll be able to tell us what somebody said.
Because there's gonna be memes from it and stuff, and people commenting and talking about it. But I think I want to watch it for a reason being to understand. Maybe we will find out what happened in that little gap. Maybe we will. She'll say,
"She's gonna do the homework for the show because I ain't watching that bullshit."
Yeah, and purposes of show. Yeah.
And while we're at it. My thing is this. So he issues an apology the next day. People are like, look, no, your publicist wrote the shit that anybody always does whenever, as you say, things happen and you get bad publicity from it, right? So they issued it. You got your ass up there at your acceptance speech, apologize to every fucking body
but him.
Except the person you hit. And then you think I'm supposed to be okay with, she puts up, it's the healing season and shit. Fuck both of y'all. I'm not on that shit. And I didn't have nothing against Will or Jada. But I'm like, y'all can't sit up there, put all your business out there like that, and they get mad when people got something to say. Like, you put that in your book. And it's not like there are people who have written books, right? I know you wrote a book, but there are certain shit, even then they don't put all their business in there. They keep some shit to themselves. You chose to do this shit. Then when he sat up there and said that whack ass shit about, I chose this life, so it comes with the territory, but not my wife. Nigga, your wife is an
In
actress.
the same
she chose that life
business.
too.
Right. She's in the
And
same
your
business.
fucking kids. So now let me get this straight. You got alopecia, so are we supposed to assume Willow got alopecia too, and that's why she shot? Stop it. And then here's my other thing, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox. All you people that's mad about this little joke, right? I
This
want
shit's
you
fake.
to hit yourself if you laughed about a Whitney joke, you laughed about a Michael Jackson
She's
joke,
bad.
you laughed about, think about Magic Johnson was literally the poster boy for condoms in the 90s. And everybody was joking about that shit. You laughed, right? When people would talk about men being
We didn't laugh
bald,
about Magic. We did
no,
not
there
laugh
were
about
people
Magic.
that cracked. No, but I'm saying they was cracking
You
jokes
wasn't in
like,
LA laughing about Magic. You was gonna get beat up.
nah, that's not what I meant. I meant they were telling the jokes like, damn, now I gotta really wear a condom after that shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
When you had people that would be bald and you'd be like, oh, he looked like Mr. Clean. And nobody say, oh, does he have alopecia? Before they decide to laugh or tell that fucking joke.
So all y'all.
And let's go back to since we
yourselves.
talking about we gonna check Chris Rock because he told jokes that somebody else wrote, right? Every episode of Fresh Prince that was written by somebody else, he talked about Uncle Phil's weight. He might have talked about his hair.
That's true.
He talked about how white Carlton was.
Yes.
And no, everybody laughed. Y'all still watching that shit. So if you do any of that, shut the fuck up about this. For real. Because you literally are contradicting yourself and you sound stupid to me.
Y'all sound stupid to her.
Very much so. Because if everything else is funny when it's about somebody else, why we deciding that Jada is going to be what we hang our hat on to say, you can't talk about nobody else?
That's why I say I'm here for the jokes anyway, man. Fuck them. They gonna be all right.
Exactly. And all you did was made it worse because I didn't heard a whole lot worse shit come out where comedians got to say since this shit is happening.
Can I just ask,
yes, you can.
I just ask, like, had that been a white comedian and Will Smith went? I just wanted to know what
Hey, look, Will Smith
would be in jail.
Will Smith did smack a white dude for talking shit.
Oh,
okay, but let's take it a step further. Had this been a white actor and a white comedian, and that person would have done that, you can't tell me that our culture would be sitting there. You'd be like, damn, you overreacted over a joke? Like, you really would have been. If Seinfeld would have went up and slapped another person, you'd be like,
we would have been laughing.
the fuck,
James
what's wrong
Corbin
with you?
We would have been
right,
laughing.
you'd be laughing because you would just be like, what
I'm
the
laughing
fuck?
at this one.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying. Like, black people would not be sitting up there, yeah, that's how you stick up for your
Hey,
wife.
look, all I know is
You wouldn't have been.
all
You
I
would
know is
not.
this shit happened and everybody got smart on the internet. Everybody started getting intellectual.
And sometimes sounded dumb as
Everybody
fuck.
want to write a think piece on the plight of whatever because y'all just watch, man, knock it
And
off.
can I say this one last thing? Well, it probably won't be the last thing. Everybody, for all those who are fans who watch the Red Table Talk all the time, you hang on every word that Will and Jada say. I'm glad you know everything about their life. But that ain't the average person. Everybody ain't hanging on to what happens in famous people's lives. So stop assuming that because you watch they shit, that everybody else know what you know.
I think they talking to those people.
Nah, man. Because I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting there like, what the fuck they talking about? And they were like, she been public about it. Well, then he was public too about his, I think it's NLVD or something, where he had to get a therapist because he has a problem reading people's social cues. He's talked about being bullied and shit. That was public. And y'all like, I don't give a fuck. Y'all just bringing that up now because of this shit. Nah, this nigga been put that shit out there. Like,
that was earlier this year.
Even before that, though, he talked about being bullied and shit. So that's all I'm saying. And can we bring up something you started to bring up was the history of the 2016. So here's the thing. I just told you I never watched the Oscars, right? I never watched that shit.
That was Oscar So White.
Right. I do recall that.
They were that year.
The jokes even that he made then about that, I just don't understand why everybody's like, yeah, he had to get payback for that. Dude, we talk about people who talk shit about not being able to get in the club from outside. So what's the difference when he talked about them?
We don't like when the joke's about us.
And we need to stop.
That's just crazy.
We need to stop.
We do that shit with all kind of shit, though. We don't just do that with this.
So can I ask you a question? So if 2016, the Oscars were so white that y'all did not support them, what has changed about the Oscars that all of a sudden made people go, let's go back to supporting them? They don't support us like that.
No, what that was nobody got nominated that year.
Yes.
And this year what happened was why it was, I think, such support was because there was a lot of black nominees. I don't know.
So if it go back to next year of not, having black people nominated, we gonna then go back to still white. It was still white this year too.
Okay, so I that's again, my take on like how some of these actors who I think are phenomenal, white or black, all these years get who have been like, I feel like passed over for the best actor awards and what, like Leonardo DiCaprio has been in the game for so dang long, and then finally he gets the award for the Reverend. Yeah, where he's
the
running
Revenant.
out. Yeah, out with the bear.
That shit was hard.
Like, that's what you guys say. I haven't seen it, so whatever. But
that shit was hard.
But I could think of like so many movies.
I don't know, but
they were better than that, right?
To you,
but
they weren't.
To me.
But they weren't as hard as that.
Right. Well, I just don't.
I get where she's going with that.
I need to see it.
But
so that's like when Denzel got his thing for Training Day. I was like, out of all the movies he did, that's what y'all gave it to him for.
You know why I like that? That's why you got it for?
Why?
Because we had not seen him like there. I don't know if you were here when we had the discussion on Denzel, but I like Denzel, but I don't think that his range is that crazy. That showed us more depth into his range. I think he stays kind of in the same range.
Yeah, the same. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He does safe shit. Like he does it well, but he does it safely. And I think that was him not being safe. And we, of course, he was hard in the black stereotype shit. I know all that.
Yeah,
part.
And then this whole Macbeth type movie, or wait, who was doing that?
He's doing Macbeth.
Yeah, so like my hurt there all these years with so many people, period, with talent has been passed over, and then in the black world passed over too. So now all of a sudden, I just feel like I told them at work, they were like, "What? So Will Smith got away with slapping them, and they didn't ask him to leave nothing?" I said, "Oh, I think because we have a special power right now, like this, that whole black magic thing. Like I think we can get away with more." With just more, like all that's happened. They're like, okay, we're going to go. We have to be more inclusive of everyone now. Like after the whole BLM movement, everything, we have to be more inclusive. So we're going to put up these movies, find the best ones from the black actors so we could put them in so we don't look like we're doing a whiteout again and excluding them, because we now don't want to be banned or looked upon. Like that's how probably the Oscar people are thinking, like, oh, we got to make sure, okay, so there's the transgender included now, okay, the black people are included, the browns, okay, everybody good, we're all inclusive. That's how I feel that
no, they're definitely trying to be more inclusive now. Yes.
Or else they'll be accused of
not being inclusive.
And then it's a problem for them, and they don't want that problem. Now, I just think you take these same nominees, these same movies, and 2014, it would have been a different outcome.
That's true, but it still was a bullshit that wasn't best movie. So they don't.
I don't even know who won best movie because I told y'all I don't watch this shit.
It was one of the movies that nobody. It was one of the movies that nobody ever seen.
Which typically happens with the Oscars. That's why I was like, so when did we start supporting the Oscars again? Say, well, you know how I feel about some other shit that I'm going to leave nameless. But I just feel like they have not made some change that should have automatically took it from, because what it felt like to me was like, oh, we nominated, so now we not boycotting it no more. Like, come the fuck on. Like,
well, that's why they were boycotting.
Right, but here's the problem that I had. I saw something where they were discussing it, and they were saying that they were beefing. Matter of fact, it might have been what I told you I saw earlier. I just won't put it out there like that. Where they were saying that they were mad at Chris Rock when he was making jokes in 2016 because she was trying to do something for black people and you knocked it. And I'm sitting there going, what? Like, how does that benefit black people?
How that overall was looked at, if I go back to then, right, and not looking from now, is that was the year where people were boycotting the awards because of the lack of nominations. No, they don't always. No, that was a more concerted effort than normally. It's always some people that say they're going to not, but this was a more concerted effort. Now, in that's when I think people were originally even mad that Chris Rock took the job that year because of the same reasons, right? Because people were boycotting that year. All right. And so he took that. So there were already aspersions cast upon him for that.
Hey. But can we play
vocabulary
devil's
words?
Though?
Wait, huh?
Can we play devil's advocate on that one?
Wait, before I get there. Okay. So he was in that lane. So then when it came around and he told the joke about her in that awards, which was she was boycotting and she wasn't invited. Nobody invited your ass. Nobody, you weren't invited no way. That was the joke.
I know, right? I saw it.
Yeah. So I think that is the underlying thing, is the fact that he also was looked at funny style for even taking that job.
And I understand
Again,
that.
when I said it's people will sell themselves for a certain price.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that though. If, like, remember how we talked about before, people make decisions that they think are best for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, had he ever hosted the Oscars?
Yes.
He had? Okay, well, let's just say that still was a big gig. And for some people, that is like, remember we talked about the Grammys and people boycotting it? And for some of them, that is the epitome to be asked to host. I'm not turning that down for my mama. That might be their stance. It might not be that, oh, I'm just against black people. Because if that's the case, if that's the hard line we taking, there's so many times we can use that as an example that when we say, let's boycott this for the betterment of our people to get this, people be like, fuck that. I'd like to watch this. Or hell, I'm nominated this year or whatever. People wanted to, and I'm sorry, calling out Will and Jada. Let's be real. The Oscars have not been that great to us. They're kind of like the Grammys in my eyes, where certain awards that you know we probably gonna get be the shit that's never televised. You just see it when they tell you, oh, this person got this, like Samuel L. Jackson got that award. I don't understand how you get a Lifetime Achievement Award that's not televised, but that's what they did. But hold on.
It was not like the regular Lifetime Achievement Award, but I got you.
But, and I'm saying,
but that's a big award. And
that's
a big actor.
But that's not what it was, a Lifetime Achievement type award. And I'm not trying to give him a pass for not, but it's not, the award known as the Lifetime Achievement Award, which definitely should have been broadcast.
Right. But what I'm saying is that for years we have known in Hollywood how they don't necessarily treat us the best. But you decide when it's convenient because you're not nominated and you feel you should be nominated. Oh, let's have this big ass boycott. Because let's be real. If you didn't feel that he should have been nominated that year, you probably still would have took your ass there. Or it would have been more convenient to say, I'm boycotting. But as soon as, oh, okay, well, we getting what we think we wanted. Now it's like, oh, we won for the cause. And let's be mad at him. Because he didn't jump on that bandwagon that to keep it funky 100, y'all probably should have did a long ass time ago. But you didn't get behind it because you were nominated or you were part of the Hollywood. Now it's convenient and everybody should be behind you. I got a problem with it. Remember we talked about that last week with the Grammys. But that's my hard line stance. So I can't be mad at Chris Rock for saying, yeah, I know that's how y'all feel. But I'm still gonna take this job over here and feed my family because y'all. So you
felt where I was coming from last week with the Grammys when I said that.
I didn't say I didn't. I just said that that's my hard line, and that when people are using this shit as a thing of this was what we did for the betterment of black people, and it's like, now was it really the betterment of black people or was it self-serving? That's what I'm saying.
Well, it was somewhat self-serving because the whole point was it's not no black nominees, and we're trying to get black nominees. They weren't trying to discredit that awards like what the Grammys is trying to do. Is they're saying the Grammys is irrelevant. We need to pay more attention to our stuff that we have. We don't even really have an equivalent to the Oscars.
We have, but we do have stuff that does actually recognize those type of things. And like you said before, they don't get no attention because people don't go.
But I mean a hard line. That, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as BET, like I said, they have awards.
We have the Trumpet Awards. We have the NAACP Awards. Like that's where they actually, but nobody pays attention to those.
Okay. I'll go with that.
So that was where my question was going to be, like, how, hypothetically, I guess, like, why is it that people of these statures, the Wills and Jadas and these Denzels and all this, don't get together and create something where we can more or less sprinkle it out to the others? Like, I'm gonna tell you, we'll go ahead and nominate you too. I'm gonna tell you why one of the things
and
let it be a platform.
One of the things I feel is, like I told her last week in regards to the Grammys, some of these things have been around your whole life, and your dream was to get these awards, right? And they're no matter what, to you, there's a prestige to these awards. Even if you know historically they haven't been right to us. There's just because of how, just like some shit is just instilled in you since you grew up a certain way.
Right.
And you just feel these awards have this prestige. Now, if all those people could get together and do that, it may take some time to build it to that point. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, right? So but in asking why, I think that's why. You know what I'm saying? Because it hasn't got to that point. I think they just already have that built in. Maybe they can start to build it so the generations coming up
Right. And
will have
the
something
same
to look forward
prestige.
to besides that, you know what I'm saying, that has something that has more of their face and something that looks more like them that they can go towards.
Right.
But we have that with the BET Awards, the BET Hip Hop Awards, we don't give it that.
Right, exactly. And that's my thing. Like, we need to create something
And they
where Eminem and the other what's that other guy's name? They're all running to, I want a prestigious award, the Black something
Well,
award,
That's
I
or
true.
agree with
whatever.
Will. We have stuff. It's just that you don't hold, like, to what your point was. You don't hold
Look,
getting an NAACP award
also-
the weight as you do an
And
Oscar.
also one more thing, and you know what I'm saying, and this does affect your prestige, and no, they don't look at us like we want them to look at, but that's supposed to be what you want it to be, and why they want it to be is all inclusive. When we do that stuff on our own, it's our own, and that's like limiting your competition field.
Right.
If you get where I'm coming
I
from,
get
like
it, yeah.
it's one thing to acknowledge your own, but it
Mhm.
also shortens the field, the playing
Mhm.
field, where you know what I'm saying, where the others if they're not eligible,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, for this particular award, it does not hold the same prestige because the field that you're comparing yourself to is smaller.
But that's what I was saying. Like, I would want them to create something where other people, like the
Want to
Eminems
be
of the world,
involved.
like, oh my gosh, I did everything in my music career, but I didn't get the National Association of
Well, that's
Actors,
what I'm saying.
whatever we
That's what I'm
call
saying.
it, type
Creating
of thing.
something, and
Yeah.
I think that's what would hold like the one like the NAACP award. That's for us.
Mhm.
But
That's specific.
it didn't have to be. If you really look at the background of NAACP,
I know, but
you could have actually, because they nominate other people.
Traditionally, well, that's true.
They do
Traditionally, though,
nominate
it's
other people. They
looked at
recognize
as
other
such.
people.
Yeah.
But, and I'm saying again, it's that backing, like we talked
Mhm.
about last week. Like, why do
sad.
you hold like and
Because-
maybe it's because I'm not in the field, so I don't want anybody to think I'm just so oblivious. I'm acknowledging maybe it's because
That-
it doesn't hold the weight for me
and
that
may-
I don't get it.
and that may play into it.
But my issue with it is that when you look at the history of the Oscars, they've never really been for us or about us.
Right.
And so to, like I
But
said,
that's
to
just
me,
but that's just the world we live in. So
right,
that's
and I understand that. But what I'm saying is, why would you put so much weight, and this is just me, into something that did not respect you for the
because
craft that you had?
because that thing awards what is supposed to be greatness.
I can tell you right now, like, okay, so this book that you talked about that I've wrote, right? So Vacation Barb's book is out or whatever, or, I'm holding it because I got to figure I'm done with it. I got to figure out the play for it. And this might sound ridiculous to most people, but I don't want to sell my book to, like, say, for instance, my 500 Facebook friends. I don't want to do that. Pedal, please buy my book.
No, you've been published and put in a real arena.
Exactly. And I want to be put in a real arena because what I did and what I put into that, like, it is good. It is not mediocre. It is very good. It is some good stuff in that book. So on top of that, I just know that my opportunities are going to come different when, author, like all of us can be an author. Yeah, I put it out on Amazon to sell, but catch this. If I am, here comes Vacation Barb with her book, or New York Times best-selling author, and all New York Times best-selling author is that you pushed out 10,000 units in the first 7 days of your thing. So some people repackage their books later and push out and like put an extra chapter in it, repackage it because now they're a little popular and got something else to now be the New York Times best-selling author. But guess what? I'm going to be invited to the Good Morning Americas and to this
Like I said, it's just the prestige already. That's
because
already
of that
attached.
title.
Because somebody gave it the prestige.
But that's true. That is true.
And I'm saying I think we should have been fighting and still fighting to, if you're going to hold this as this is the prestigious thing, right? Then we should have been fighting for that true equality, not just the award show, because it's convenient when it's Black Lives Matter and stuff to say, okay, let's get this popping. And no diss to him. I love Will Packer. But now let's go, okay, if we get the Black producer and we get throw this person a bone here and a bone there, and then they can't say we're not including them.
Right.
I can't.
But in saying that is part of what we're asking for too. So it's like it's a double-edged sword because
we asked
because
for it.
Let's
we
see
don't
where
get
it's
it.
gonna be in a couple of years, and if they still holding to this, is what I'm saying.
I hear where you're coming, but I'm just saying, like, what we're asking for,
we're getting
at a point is what you're getting. So when you start saying, like, that's not enough for, it's like
I'm
have to
saying
work
I think
towards
it's
a point.
performative, and that's for me where I have the issue. It just feels performative.
It
to
may
me.
be performative.
It's kind of like a once this all blows over, we just gonna go back to Oscars so white, and then because you weren't nominated,
Hey, look,
it's
I think it's gonna be.
to
I think in
boycott.
general it's gonna be Oscar so white because until the population starts evening out a little different, it's just kind of what it is.
Right.
And the people that are in place are in place now. As the generations and as the young people come in there, and the people that were just stuck in there and got those spots start getting out, and more progressive people get in those spots, it'll start to change. Because that's happening with the internet. Has definitely changed some minds in the way people look at stuff. This open minds. Now you still got, of course, a population that's taught some bullshit, and they're always going to be on that. There's nothing you can do about that.
Well, before we go though, I gotta ask because you did bring it up, but we never actually touched on it. You said we didn't talk about Chris Rock's point of view in all this.
No, it wasn't point of view so much as what's the aftermath if it's real for him. If it's a real situation, besides the fact that he's getting his tickets and fucking went
I
through
think
the
it's
roof.
sticky because you got some people now who look at him like, dude, you just let this dude run up on stage.
Definitely. I mean, he got to look at himself like that too. Shit, when he go to his room by himself and nobody's talking to him. I mean, if that's what it is, that's what he has to look at. I mean, if he did it once, okay, say it's not fake, but he did it for a check.
Right.
Right? Because it's, he could have did it and not knew it was coming, or knew it was coming, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It could have been for a check, or it could have been for whatever spoils down the road, or we're gonna look out for you, whatever. He still gotta look at himself. So
that's
if it's 100% if it's 100% real, 100% real, and he did nothing, which is what we're raising, then that's a whole nother thing he gotta look. He's actually got to go home and deal with.
Which I can't be mad at, because sometimes, I mean, like, it's human nature, right? Sometimes you in your mind are tossing back and forth. Like she said, that code switch. Am I going, okay, if I do this, can be, and so he ended up not doing that.
This is the thing, but look, if he retaliated, that shit would have been crazy.
Yeah.
That is not nobody wanted to see. We didn't want to see that, right? I mean, it was kind of funny stuff. It was kind of fun. No, because it could have got crazy because then with them tussling, because it could have turned into, I mean, it could have been just a right? Could have turned into a tussle. Could have turned into a tussle with the stage where people fell off the stage. Could have fell into a tussle if people fell off the stage, and people just get riled up when they see a tussle and get into a tussle. Security could have rushed the stage, and it could have got crazy.
Yeah. And I think he took a different road that kept it from going there.
Right. And that's crazy because
it's a level of professionalism that he showed there.
Yeah,
but
that's above and beyond. He did
get his ass smacked and got to go home smacked.
Right. And that's again that's what I do. I'm on a big stage. But like I totally get it, because like when people say sly stuff to me, I'm not the quick shooter with a comeback. So then later I'll be at home like, yeah, I should have said that fool's teeth was messed up. Like, dang, I could have talked about his bow leg. Like,
when I see him tomorrow, I got one for you.
Exactly. I'm not that person that just is quick with stuff.
Oh, so that means you just got a fire on somebody.
Yeah, so if you fired on me, I just don't think I'd be like, oh wait, I'm at the. I mean, again, we talk about situations. I told y'all, I was on the phone with a nurse crying to me, like, help me. My mom's having a seizure. You are a nurse. This is your element. Why are you asking me for help? Because things are different in the moment.
It's real for her right then. It's not work.
Exactly. So the same thing goes down. I'm on this platform. Do I get smacked? And think about it like, oh my God, Will Smith just smacked me. Okay.
That's what he said.
Cool.
He literally was like, okay.
Okay, put my cool here. All right, I'm at the Oscars, fool. This is a paycheck. Don't act up. Just, okay, next joke. Like, did that go through your mind?
Because it could have affected a paycheck down the road.
In your future. No, or do you, did he just smack me?
It is affecting the paycheck right now. Because his ticket sales went from $41.
No, I'm saying of the Oscars invites that you guys said that's like the echelon, right? Of them inviting him back.
Oh, no doubt.
Did you notice when Questlove was getting her, first of all, shout out to Questlove, okay? But when Questlove was getting his award, you kind of could tell somebody was saying something to Chris Rock, and Chris Rock was like almost like, I don't know what happened. Like, the fuck?
Right.
Like, so I think he did show the professionalism that sometimes we be having to do, even when we at work and somebody say something real out of pocket. I work with kids. Parents get out of pocket a lot. And sometimes when they say real slick shit, my mind automatically goes into how bad do you want this paycheck? Because she really just tried you. If you don't want this paycheck, go ahead and be you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need this paycheck, you might need to take a deep breath and let it roll.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think for him, I'm glad he's getting those ticket sales, even though we know a lot of people just buying them now because
They want to hear what they got
to say.
And he's
Right.
probably not going to say nothing for a minute, but
And he did say that.
he is going on tour with Kevin Hart very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But and he
he'll have
did say
something to say
that. He
then.
said, I'm going to say
Yes.
something eventually. He said, but this show, I had
It's not going to be
already had it planned.
eventually. When he go on tour with Kevin Hart,
Them jokes are gonna roll, and I want to be
I
there.
want him to roast
He gonna have a set.
I want to be there.
I
can
actually
we all
would have
go?
liked to have seen that, even though I know they probably would have went to commercial. But when he was sitting there screaming, "Don't keep my wife's fucking name out your mouth," and he was like, "I will," I would have been like, "Nigga, let me tell you where your wife's name was, or better yet, where she was." Like,
Right.
Give it to him.
we should have had Taz up there.
Bitch ass come back up here.
We should have.
Right.
We should have had Taz up
For
in the
real,
house.
like he should have just been giving it to him. Like he did it in a way that let that have been Ricky Smiley or somebody. It wouldn't have been able, even if they didn't hit him back, they would have. Oh, you didn't want your wife's name in my mouth? Can she be on my dick tonight? Like it would have been bad. Want your ass to come back up here?
Ganging them
Her
fools
mouth
with-
was on his.
All right, look, now you mentioned another comedian. These comedians they doing a little too much. I
No,
love
they
stand.
not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
You know why? I love stand up. I'm seeing.
Let
Oh,
it roll.
oh no! I'm scared to get on the stage now. I'm here. That's what I'm saying.
Well-
I'm traumatized by it.
No.
What
Let
are
me
you
tell you
talking
why
about?
I say that.
I'm saying. I'm telling
Right,
you
no,
what
I'm
they're
with
saying.
you. But I'm saying apparently this was something that was before because Lunel, who I love her.
Peep game.
She was saying they've been trying to get like bodyguards and stuff because people have felt
Peep
before they
game.
could do
Peep
that
game.
shit.
That's something that comedians have always had to worry about.
Right,
That is
and
not
that's why
nothing
she
new.
said now maybe
That's
this might
this
get
is
them
some,
what they wanted.
what I'm saying is that's some bullshit. Now I'm traumatized because that happened. That's
No, I
always
wasn't
some.
saying the traumatized part.
That's what I'm talking about. Comedians, I didn't heard too many, and I love my shit. But that's something they've always had to deal with.
Right.
I mean,
but
they've
she
always
was
been in
like,
comedy clubs talking
Where
shit
people
about
get
the people
drunk.
where people get drunk. And I've seen, I mean, they already deal with hecklers and aggressive people. So
Right.
I'm sure
Yep.
there are comedians that have already had to deal with that on some level, either outside, in the back, especially some of those people that have their comedy is a little like kind of mean, kind of
Mhm.
harsh, like a Corey Holcomb, Anthony
I'm
Jeselnik.
sorry, I don't really like him. I just have to
My
Go
guy,
ahead.
he's kind of rough on him, so I can get it. You know what I'm saying? Being a woman.
We'll talk afterwards why I don't like him. It was
Okay.
a personal thing.
Okay. But some comedians are kind of aggressive, and then some are really good with crowd work, and they really be going at the crowd.
Mhm.
So I could see
Like a Martin Lawrence.
like a Martin Lawrence, but Martin he was good at that, like a Joe Torre.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Joe Torre.
He gonna scope you out.
Joe Torre used to kill an audience. Like
Yep.
Martin was good with the he was just quick. Martin's just quick. Joe Torre used to be on the audience head. Right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Somebody like that. I'm sure they had to deal with people that was embarrassed, people that's mad, people that took the joke wrong, all of that.
Right.
Comedians are already dealing right now with people
A lot of backlash and cancel.
backlash and cancel because
Yeah.
people can't take a joke on that
Right.
front. Not even being aggressive with them, just getting, trying to cancel them or saying you can't talk about that or trying to censor what they're saying. So they got it coming. But knock all that off. I saw Wanda Sykes saying that. And I like Wanda. I've seen at least 3 comedians.
Because they
That-
said the fact that they let him just, you know what I think? I get it. Because psychologically, I think it's like some people forget, nope, just go with me here.
All right.
That everybody ain't Will Smith. You ain't gonna be able to just walk up and smack somebody and sit back in your seat like nothing
Right.
happened. And I think that's what they're talking about is that people gonna get buffed up from this shit thinking this is how life works. And that ain't how it worked. But no, when I said that, Lulel was saying they've
Traumatized.
been trying to really push to get, body like more security for shit like this, and they feel like this just made it open season, is what they were saying. And I got that. Because there's always somebody that's gonna try to be tough.
It was already people
Sad.
trying to be tough.
It was.
That's
That's
all.
But
sad.
That's all I'm saying.
and I agree
That was
with
already
you.
that was already a concern.
But you know what? Can I say this? And this is from my heart. You can't take a joke. Find something else. Like, I don't want the comedian because I don't watch it like you do. Okay. But I am, even though I'm young, still a fan of like the Red Foxes style of comedy and the
Mhm.
Richard Pryors and, the foul mouth, say what the fuck you want to say, even if
Right.
it's about somebody else,
Right.
I don't want it to become this thing where you go, okay, wait, I can't talk about this because that's off limits. Can't talk about this because that's off limits.
Yeah.
Nope, can't do that neither because that's off. Then,
Yeah.
So what the fuck we laughing at then?
That's when we get into the clap jokes. You know, I don't like the clap jokes.
Right.
Clap jokes ain't funny.
The agree jokes. Woo, black women show are crazy, huh?
Yeah, like
I hate them jokes.
Yeah, no.
Just like my mama, huh?
Yeah, I want to be able to laugh. I watch comedy because shit, life is fucking hard. And sometimes I just want to laugh at the shit, you know?
Yeah, I prefer storytellers.
I like storytelling. I like all forms of story. You know, as long as they're funny to me.
So since you like comedy on a different level than I think me and Barb, how do you feel that now everything is becoming canceled for everything?
Man.
Let me turn to her for everything. Like, come on now.
I mean, it's rough on comedians. I see what they saying, even like especially dealing with like the younger culture coming up. They're a lot more sensitive. That need safe spaces and trigger warnings and all of that type stuff. Like I can see how it could be rough with their material, and I see how they're doing, but they're doing other stuff. They're doing podcasts where they can curate their audience a little better too.
What you mean?
They can.
When you say curate,
they can get the audience that they want. People that like their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know that still becomes sticky because so let's say me and Barbara like, you got a podcast that's all comedy, right? We listening, and then one day, I'm not gonna use Barbara. I'll use me. I'm in my feelings about something you said. So then I decide because that's literally, you know, with some of these things that they got canceled for.
I'm getting ready to tell you. I'm getting ready to tell you. See, the thing is, on that thing is with a podcast, they coming right back next week. So you can get mad at with them. You can hop in their comments and do all. But when I say you can curate your thing, is you can tell people, hey, what we do, right, is a bit irreverent. It's not PC. It's so-and-so. This is what we are. And like, even when you go to a podcast, I mean, if you go, there's an introduction page. It's certain things. You can lay it out there ahead of time. So like, don't come here if that's not what you're looking for.
Right, but I'm saying it don't stop nothing because look at what happened with Dave Chappelle. I never thought Dave Chappelle was like this clean cookie cutter comedian, and yet look what happened the last time. Where people were going pissed off about shit that I'm like, you should have expected from him.
That's that. But if he had a podcast, it should be on next week. That's what I'm saying. You know
so you're just saying like, they can get away with it more.
What I'm saying is they can curate their audience, so their audience is going to keep coming back to them. They don't have to
worry about if they're going to be
those
on
people
the Oscars
if those people that fall off because they don't like them. Cool, bye. Because they can curate a niche audience, and that's like your cult fan base. You cultivate your fan base. So those people can get mad and cancel you and stop listening to you all they want. Cool.
But I'm saying you start going viral for shit that you say, like, then what?
That helps find your niche.
Then people are like, I like that joke, and like how we feel.
It just helps find your niche. Like I said,
because like I said, we would go to his.
Because like I said, when people actually go find you, you know what I'm saying? They're mad. They actually go find you, and they get to your page, and it says, "Hey, we unfiltered conversations about so and so," or we do, and then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
So
and you're going to run into occasionally, probably depending on how big you are, going viral for a thing. But so
I'm amazed by this new generation. They could not have survived under Richard Pryor and all of them. Like, they just, everything just make you feel. But it's not
the comedians. It's just the world they live in. The comedians are just a byproduct. What's happening to them is a byproduct of everything else. Them having, I don't want to start talking about all this. I'm not going to get on these youngsters right now because it's,
I'm just saying, learn to take
but
it's
it's just a byproduct of everything else. And then the comedians are just catching that. Like I said, it's a byproduct of going to school and having trigger warnings at school. We're talking about something that may set you off. Got to have safe spaces. So, we can't talk about that here. Well, I need to talk about this. Where, that kind of thing. Right? Y'all ready to go?
I am. Do you think we'll be talking about this next week? No, because we won't be here next week.
Oh, you won't.
You won't. I won't either.
We'll tap in with you though, because it's gonna be birthday weekend, right?
Yeah.
And Barbara's gonna be off vacationing somewhere. Oh, she gonna probably be. Y'all gonna be together.
Yeah,
together.
Oh man, so y'all tap in with
us.
Nah.
Oh,
really? That's how you feel?
I'm gonna see y'all in a couple weeks.
That hurt.
I'ma talk to you.
I don't wanna hear
She's like, I don't miss
that. I don't wanna hear
y'all.
that.
How I'ma miss you? How I know if I miss you in advance?
You be knowing.
No, you
When,
don't.
yes,
That's
my
what
mama be
missing
like,
someone
I'll
is.
be like, I'm gonna miss her, like before she be gone.
The
You don't know
ninjets
that.
are.
You gotta
are
wait till you
nunjets.
actually miss them to miss them.
Nah, I be knowing it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Ooh.
That's when I get sensitive.
Oh.
You know, that's
On
my
the front
sensitive
end?
spot. Yeah, on the front end.
How about when the person actually be like, you know what? I fucking miss you. That's when it's supposed to kick in, when they
Nah.
feel it.
Mhm.
Because I be knowing if I leave, if I'm gonna actually miss somebody or I'm not gonna miss them. Like when I go, even though she not going nowhere, I'm gonna miss my mom, even though it's just like a week away, right? Them kids, I ain't gonna miss. Like I know this shit ahead of time, you know?
Mhm.
Like it just be that way.
Well, that's different. You no. You love your kids.
Nah,
you love your
Whatever.
kids, your students.
whatever.
All right, so we are going to get out of here because we gotta go. Hey, we gotta go. Hey, we gonna spin it around the room. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Y'all gonna give them your things
Mhm.
with
Look,
the ats in front.
I'm like, I'm in trouble. Like I didn't write this down, y'all.
With the
I'm all
ats
over
in
the
front.
place.
I'm saying
Mhm,
Barb
mhm.
got a whole damn rundown. We're
It's
gonna have to
ridiculous.
we're gonna consolidate her. We're gonna get her consolidated to a nice handle.
Right.
That's gonna be her handle right there.
Well,
She can
okay.
use our handle for everything.
Yeah, if people just give up my names, because right there on Twitter, you can catch me at Agent 99 Time, and all the Get Smart people don't, they get it.
Mhm.
And on IG, that name is gone. So whatever. On IG, you can catch me at Novels by B, and that is also my Twitch account. I do have one of those.
Mhm.
Then on YouTube,
Are you active on it?
I've done a couple of things. I'm
Oh.
trying to work on that. Trying to live the social media life is a second job, I tell you.
It can be.
It really can. And on YouTube, I'm only Barb. See, that's what I wanted to be on everything, but it just didn't work out like that.
Yeah. That's people might be expecting something on that site, right? On the Only Barb, right?
I know. And I thought about that.
Have you
Okay.
gotten some comments like, what is this shit?
Right? Let me just give you a little background. Things happen to me, like whatever it may be. I'm clumsy, etc. And they be like, that would only happen to you, or some crazy
Like Only
scenarios.
Barb.
Only Barb. That only happens to only Barb.
Well, you know what
that's
happened.
where that came from.
Well, you
Not
know,
OnlyFans.
you know what happened. It's a site now called OnlyFans.
Fans, yes.
Yeah, so when you put only in front of stuff now, they
Exactly.
be expecting it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I got some things for the Only Barb story.
Oh.
Out.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Taz.
Hey, I'm not that interesting like her. But I'm your
Yes, you
resident
are.
all things black people, black love, black pride. That's me. And you can find me on IG at Mocha Vibes. That's VYBEZ. And on Instagram, it's Mocha Vibes, but with an underscore. Or it might be the other
So
way
it's
around.
Mocha _vibes. What is it?
Might be, but it might be the other way
No,
around.
that's it.
No, I'm saying
That's it.
it is on IG.
IG.
Oh, you knew better than me.
Mocha _vibes.
I said that might have been my Twitter. I didn't know.
All right.
There's too many different handles. I won't.
No,
one.
it's the same
Yeah.
one, but it's some.
It's an underscore. It's an underscore on
Oh, okay.
Instagram.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
You the one that got a million
Man,
handles.
sorry, y'all. Sorry. Can tell that Only Barb lady on Twitter to give up my name, please. She don't even tweet.
I imagine what her Twitter looks like. All right. Her Twitter might be going up. Twitter is different.
Mhm.
Twitter, your algorithm can start shooting you some wild shit.
Right.
Right? I have fear. All right. And I am Club Dynamite, coolest ninja you know. You can find me on all the platforms at Club Dynamite. Change the U to a B. Very simple, very simple. Shout out once again to What Up Vern. Shout out to Nikki Savage. Shout out to Shanni Love, she's like doing a singing competition in the metaverse right now. It's American Idol shit. So I'm saying good luck to her on that. And shout out to Extendo Guy. One love to each and every one of the people who have listened and who continue to listen to our podcast. We appreciate you. Make sure that you check out our YouTube. Also, youtube.com/Deez Ninjas Network. Make sure that you subscribe and share and like and comment and all that good stuff. We do appreciate you, and we are out.
Peace.
And I lost the bet.